probably take it slow for now because there's not going to be anybody.
Perfect.
Okay. So another audio, Taylor.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, cool. Mike
Hello, how you doing?
and Soybean.
Hello, how are you doing?
And I'm not going to answer any of the questions. I'm swell, thanks.
Perfect.
Okay. So, what kind of pizza are you eating?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
DiGiorno?
DiGiorno. It looks like DiGiorno,
Yeah, it's really good.
actually. Great.
God,
Okay.
I love deep dish pizza.
Yeah. All right, well, welcome everybody. I'll also say this again in like 2 minutes, but here we are doing another podcast, the JimJam podcast, episode 2. We've got special guests here, and Dose is back in it. Hey, we've got Soybean at the top left.
Dose.
I think it's at the top left. Last time it was confusing. Who was where? We'll have to do the
Yeah,
hearts
top
thing again later.
Where's
Yeah,
mine?
it doesn't really. Is this correct?
No, other way, Taylor.
Oh, is it flipped? Oh, geez, okay.
Am I pointing in the correct?
Yeah.
No, you're
pointing-
pointing.
you're-
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm just gonna trust Soybean with.
Hey, Summer.
Okay, so. All right, so hey
Dan
Summer,
Malty.
everybody, welcome in. All right.
So I'm on the. Am I on the bottom left?
You're at the bottom left. I think.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure.
You're at the bottom left. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, hey everybody. We've got the Jim Jam podcast episode 2 here. We've got special guest host Soybean at the top left, Mike at the bottom left here, and Taylor, aka T Swizzle, at the bottom right.
Hello.
Who's also a penguin. So you guys, thanks for being guests here. It's a long time coming because I think we almost probably did it at the end of November. And then I kept saying, okay, in December sometime, but obviously that was a busy month with
Very
the holidays and some of us school, the semester ending and all that stuff. So a lot happened, and I kind of want to throw this out there too. We met a lot of people in December as well, and this is an ongoing thing. Like every month we meet new people on this whole streaming platform and all. So it's kind of a wild journey to kind of connect with everybody, old and new, and different projects going on as well. So anyway, let's start off with introductions. Soybean, do you feel comfortable with being the first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I'm alilsoybeanappears. That's my username. I have tons of different nicknames. Soy and bean are pretty common.
Yep.
I don't stream, but I'm pretty active in chats. And one day I hope to stream. I do circus stuff, so juggling, hula hoop, all that stuff. And yeah, I guess that's it.
We hope to see some of that sometime. Maybe through
Stay tuned.
through this, or yeah, stay tuned. Stay
Live
tuned.
stream win?
Okay. Because I'm going to be asking all of you like what should we expect for this year, if you guys have certain plans coming up. Thanks, Soybean. Mike, what about you?
My name is Mad Mike. 1222. I'm a variety streamer. I stream a multitude of games from Monster Hunter to Hades to Yakuza. And this year, my plans are just to be more consistent with the schedule because last year I was all over the place. I currently stream at midnight EST every night, so if you want to catch me, you can catch me then.
Midnight.
And,
What a
yeah.
time. What a time to
That's my
stream.
intro. Your turn, Penguin Boy.
Oh, lovely. Okay. I am T Swizzle 01, the Penguin God. Joking aside, I also stream Eastern times. I do a lot of variety, usually full game playthroughs. Right now we're doing AI. Sorry. The Somnium Files, before someone roasts me over the coals. And my plans for this year, I don't really know. I guess we can go into that depth more, but I don't really have one, and I guess that's a problem. But
Okay. Well.
and I stream like 8 p.m. Eastern every night, so I usually am about 10 minutes late, but that's the goal to start them.
At least you're consistent.
Yeah, no, you know.
Yeah, that always works when people show up. Okay, well, thanks, you guys. Yeah, again, thanks for joining this. This was very exciting to try and set up and have pretty much go episode by episode to give everybody a chance to participate. And it's just really a fun way to get to know each other, or for everybody out there, especially the newest viewers, for everybody out there to get to know us a little bit better, get some insight into streaming, modding, perhaps, and kind of some side stuff that may or may not be going on with each of you too, if you want to share it. But okay, so obviously we have to talk about just briefly about 2020. Like we're finally in 2021, but
Oh God.
like in just a few words or a few sentences or whatever. And we'll go in reverse. We'll start with Taylor. Like, what's kind of like, we'll just go with the best moments. What are some of the best moments that you can take with you from the previous year, and that sets you up for this next year?
Streaming or just in general?
I think in general too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, I have gone from not streaming to streaming, and that was a fun little transition of learning how to do it and everything. And with streaming, I think the highlight, ironically, for my streaming is one of the first real games I ever played, Valkyria Chronicles 4, and that just whole playthrough kind of changed the way I play games. I know that sounds really weird. I played a lot of first-person shooters, and that's about it. And when I played Valkyria Chronicles 4 on stream, it kind of opened my eyes to all these other games that existed, all these JRPGs I'd never heard of or really played, or haven't played in years at least.
Yeah.
And that just, and with COVID and all the video games that I ended up playing, that really helped me not get bored of playing one subset of games because I had all this variety. And so that was nice. Obviously, anytime you talk about highlights, any sort of music recording for me, that's fun. And so our Glass Leaf project was absolutely a highlight. Absolutely enjoyed doing that. And I'm trying to think. Those two things are big highlights of mine for 2020. I think those are the two major ones I'll go with.
Do you have a favorite song from your group, from your band?
I've heard them all so many times. Probably Swimming, because I just think everyone's vocals on Swimming are the best. But then I say that, and then I think Drift, because Drift was just a masterclass and all these different parts coming together and moving around each other.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I pick one, I always choose another one.
They're all good. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all
okay.
good.
Nah.
Yeah. That's good to hear. Yeah, like I've heard a few of the songs, and like my impression is that it's pretty. There's a mood to it.
Yes.
There's a mood, and like I think the term glass leaf, just the word leaf. There's like a nature sort of feeling to it. So that kind of lives in the music that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, yeah, just stating facts, I guess. Interpretations. Okay, so and for you, Mike, what was your year like, and what do you take from?
My year was quite similar to Taylor's. Like before, I actually streamed different games. I only streamed Rocket League for the first few months, and then my first game that I decided to branch out on was Valkyria Chronicles 1,
Mhm.
and that was like my first ever story game RPG kind of thing that I did on stream. And during that time, I actually was looking for other people that were playing the game, and I came across Taylor.
Yeah.
He was playing the sequel game. And at that time, I still didn't know what I was doing, but it was just nice having someone that played a similar game to talk to. But meeting him was definitely a highlight for sure. Um, but throughout the entire year, I was having internet issues, so my streaming was kind of on and off and on and off until about August of this year. I decided to stream again and pick up, and ever since then, I've just been doing a lot of story games and meeting new streamers.
Yeah.
And modding has definitely been a lot of fun for sure. I think in between that time where I wasn't streaming, I was definitely modding, and
Mhm.
modding introduces me to so many streamers. I met you, I met Soybean, I met a lot of people just through modding. And then when I came back to streaming, it just kind
Yeah.
of got better because I met so many new streamers.
And by modding, do you mean like because you're there modding for somebody and then they're raiding
Yes.
into another
Yeah.
person's channel?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you said
I
about
think that's
like
how I met you, actually.
yeah, no, because here's the thing, like what you said about I forgot how you said it, but like being grateful for meeting Taylor, or that was kind of
Yes.
like a big moment.
That was.
I think we all agree to that too.
Aw.
To be honest, like we could all agree. Everybody out there too, because but it's like it's cool. Like it keeps happening. We keep thinking back to like, okay, how did everybody connect in the first place? And for me to meet all
When
three
I
of
think
you,
of
it
that,
was
when I think of that, I also think of Yin because I met a
yeah,
lot of people through Yin as well. I
yeah,
met Big Bird. I met Minji. I met a lot of people through Yin too. So
hmm
that's another big moment for me, meeting
yeah,
Yin.
yeah. Um, Heck, like Minji's stream last night, I feel like she was getting
Oh
a little bit
God.
emotional talking about Yin, because
Yeah.
apparently, I guess through Yin, that's how she started meeting everybody else. So
Yeah.
it's really it's always like a really neat story to hear
Isn't it
from
though?
everybody's like their different paths that happened.
Yeah.
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 So
That was definitely a highlight. So
cool.
yeah. What about
So
you?
well, we're gonna jump over the soybean real quick. So jumping from one mod,
Avoiding it.
one mod to
Thank God
another.
I'm
Actually,
avoiding
but
it.
that's good because yeah, I should answer the questions too. Sometimes I forget.
You
Well,
should, yeah.
jump from one mod
Yeah.
to the other here. Soybean.
So this year I joined Twitch as well, not as a streamer, but as a viewer and now a mod in a couple different channels. Um, Taylor was also the first channel that I joined, so
Yeah,
props to him.
cool.
Um, I don't know, it's been great that way. Like 2020 has been obviously not great in a
hmm
general sense, but personally it's been relatively good.
hmm
Um, I stopped working necessarily quite as much, but that's kind of given way to a lot of other things. For example, Twitch. I'm back in school this year now. I learned how to juggle clubs, which was fun.
Clubs, spiked clubs, or just
Clubs.
regular
No,
clubs?
not spiked.
Not spiked flaming clubs.
I will do fire at some point, but not yet.
Ah,
Ooh.
cool.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of different opportunities this year, which has been really cool.
Yeah.
Um, in addition to Twitch as well, a lot of things have happened on Twitch. So, for example, Jimmo writing a puppet show and a song
Oh,
about Ram for a study
that was a weird,
class.
fun time.
And then I got a song from Malty, and then I wrote a yaoi that was read on Taylor's stream about another viewer. Like,
Which we're never gonna. I think Taylor was like, "We're never
no,
gonna talk about this ever
we won't
again."
go there.
We're not
Yeah,
even
he's
gonna.
not real. It can't hurt you.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah, like
Um,
so I missed that live, and I went back to watch it. And once Taylor was done with it, he was done with it. He just went straight back to the game and just started playing more. Just that was it.
so
I
funny.
didn't think she was gonna write it. I was like, "There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way she comes back." And then she started like typing some stuff out like in the Discord, and I would like read those, and I was like, "She's just fucking with me." Like, she's fucking with me. And then she posts
No.
the link, and oh.
Yeah, the whole
It was
story.
great. Don't get me wrong.
It was well
absolutely
written.
hilarious. I was just not prepared.
It was not well written.
Yeah, anybody
I wasn't ready.
anybody out there needs a yaoi written for them? Soybean's the person. He's got
Chapter
this
2.
chapter. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a chapter 2 coming up.
No, there's
No.
Isn't
not.
there?
God,
I
no.
thought there was. Okay.
I mean, if
If
anyone
there
wants to
is, Clone's
volunteer as
Clone's gotta write
characters,
it.
Clone's
Yeah.
gotta write it? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Clone's
if you get
heavily
featured, you have
involved.
to write the next one.
Oh, you know what? But that's a
No,
good
don't
idea.
start
No,
that.
seriously. So maybe with a different theme, like with a different genre, perhaps. But the idea sounds pretty cool. Like it passes on for.
Actually, okay.
We could do this whole like
I can see that. Yeah.
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 Um,
So all in all, this year has been really interesting. Lots of ups
Yeah.
and downs.
Mhm.
A lot more ups personally than downs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
Gemma?
I think I could agree to that too. A lot more ups than downs. Like the downs were like big downs, but all the good stuff and opportunity and positive changes, is like it completely outweighs all the whatever else happened in the past year. So for me, it's a huge, like what I take from that year, from last year, is kind of a whole change in the structure of my life. And it has so much to do with this, with what Twitch did, and what all of it, like it just branched everything out. So it's like me personally, I'm not like living in my own world anymore. Like this whole connection to a bunch of people out there can happen, and it's a good thing. And a lot of people can experience kind of the same thing too if they give it a chance. Not that every experience is a positive one, but there is so much potential for good experience out there if you try and find it. And it actually helps because it's like, you're going onto this platform, like whatever media you're looking at, but in this case, Twitch, you're really just going to something that you care to watch. Like if you're a shooter fan or an RPG fan, okay, you're gonna be with like-minded people. It's just gonna happen, and eventually, once you kind of peel the banana of internet social, I don't know where that came from, but you just kind of get there. There's some sort of metaphor there. Like once you start like opening that, like it's just writing a whole new book with all these new chapters and new things happening. So for me, it's a huge change because yeah, it's just so meaningful to me. So it's a new thing to talk with people and work with people, and the fact that there are multiple projects going on right now, it's just like it's great because everyone's enthusiastic about it, or maybe thought to do it but just never did. And it's a lot of just like us talking to each other, and then okay, just one person needs to spark it, and then it kind of goes all of a sudden like wildfire, and we go for it. So there's like last year a whole bunch of stuff happened, December a whole bunch of stuff happened, but even this month a whole bunch of stuff is happening, and I think it's going to spread into the rest of the year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I forgot I didn't go through my intro, so I'll just keep it brief just in case there's like brand new viewers out there. You can call me Jim or Jimocchio. I do a lot of
Jimmo.
different, or
Or Papa
Jimmo.
Jimmo.
Papa, no.
I'm using Papa Jimmo now.
Papa Jimmo's okay. I'm getting more used to it, but it's like, no, no, please, no. But yeah, a lot of variety. Like me personally, just with how the year went to connect everything, I thought I was just going to primarily stream games, but somehow it spread into all this other stuff, and it's really because of connecting with a lot of you out there that it's spreading into these fun things, new things, and stuff that like nobody knows about yet too. That is going to happen, and it's so much fun. It's so cool to get creative with all this stuff and get into it. So yeah, so now that we're past 2020 at this point, now we're geared up for 2021. I wanted to ask you guys, okay, what's coming up? What's happening next? Or is there a momentum now at this point where it's gearing you up towards what you want to do for this year?
Where are we starting? I'll go.
Okay.
I'm saying who's going first?
I'll volunteer. Yes, there's one thing I can't talk about, which you know.
Okay.
There's another thing that I can't talk about, but I can allude to.
Okay.
So
many
I
secrets.
currently created a karaoke Discord, which has been a lot of fun. Because
Yes.
Twitch Sings is gone,
Yeah.
which sucks, but I mean, it's kind of paved way for other things, which is great. But that Discord will be evolving to include some other things. And that's really all I can say because I don't want to give it away necessarily, but be excited for that. And then I would love to start streaming this year, but I need a proper setup for that. I've got the mic. I just don't have the computer,
Yeah.
which is kind of important. So
Yeah.
You're
it'll
almost
happen
there.
eventually.
Yeah, you're almost there. And I want to say, like, doing the karaoke Discord is really cool. Like, I think
It's been
for
fun.
especially a few of us, like, because Big Bird's a huge singer, um, Backward Bloom loves it. Like, you feel the
Yeah,
passion for it, the love of
I'm
it.
really glad that he joined in.
Yeah, and so I think it's, I mean, it's perfect because it's good to have that. It's, I don't even know what to say about it, but it's essential, you know. So it's a really cool thing, and thank you for doing that. And we
It
expect
is too bad
everybody
we
here to
can't do
also
it.
sing
We can't
sometime.
stream it on Twitch because
Oh, yeah.
having the chat is quite a large part of the socialization of that.
Mhm.
But you know, it's just fine too.
Yeah, yeah,
At least there's something going on.
yeah. But that's exciting. Yeah, we're looking forward to, I guess, seeing whatever secrets you got for whatever's coming up this year.
Be
But
excited.
yeah.
Oh God, soybean with
Join
secret
my
scares me.
Discord.
I guess I'll go next.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I think we'll just keep going
Since
like in this.
might as well
that
at this
works.
point.
It keeps it easy.
So to go back to 2020 for a second, in December, I was at a weird place with streaming. I took a break like right before the holiday because you got to spend time with your family or whatever, and so I took a break about like the 19th, and during that time, I literally. Obviously, I wasn't streaming. I sat back and I looked at other streams and, still hang out in everybody's community. And for a while there, I was just debating whether or not I wanted to stream.
Hmm.
But taking that step back and taking that time away to not get burned out on it really gave me some perspective into going into 2021. Whereas before, when I streamed back in 2020, it became routine at a certain point, and I think that kind of burned me out a little bit. But taking that break going into 2021, I felt revitalized because I had time to really sit back and think about what I wanted to do. And for me, for 2020, I just want to be more consistent with the schedule. I want to stream games that I want to stream and not feel obligated to do games just for the sake of doing games. I think for me in 2020, that became a weird thing where I got in a mindset of, oh, I started a game, I have to finish it and go to another game. When in
Yeah.
actuality, I don't have to do that. But you get in that mindset at a certain point. And I think for me, taking that step back allowed me to remember, no, I can do whatever I want. It's my channel.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so in 2021, I just want to be able to enjoy streaming and do what I want to do again without feeling obligated to do certain things like I did before. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think as much as we like, it's about the viewers and the community and everything.
Yes.
We're not really servicing that if we are not serving ourselves as well. Like that'll
First.
eventually build up
Yeah,
and show itself.
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that makes
taking that
sense.
break from 2020 really put that into perspective a lot more and gave me that momentum I needed to make 2021 better.
Hmm. That's good.
So that's
So
it.
yeah, there's bright things ahead for you, Mike.
Yes.
There's bright things ahead.
Yes. All right, Taylor, your turn.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So, kind of going on with what Mike said, I had some stuff that I can't really talk about, obviously, and going on in December, and by the end of the month, like I feel that not because of streaming, but it had bled into streaming, where like my own mental health was quickly deteriorating, and I needed to take time away and just sit back and enjoy myself and kind of just play video games with some of my friends or talk to them
Mm-hmm.
and just do anything I could in order to kind of help my own brain space, right?
Hmm.
And coming back into 2021, some other stuff has now happened, which has further gut punched me. But luckily for me, in that moment, in the last couple days, I've kind of really realized a lot more about myself and a lot more like about what I want to do this year. So I have a few fun little things planned out now. For example, I might be removing the follow goal of Puppy Chef Academy and just doing it
Excuse me.
tonight.
What?
No,
Doing it after this
but it's a
tonight.
good thing. It's a good
Like
thing.
for example, is
Okay.
one of the things, and just a couple, but then I know that's small, but I have a couple other things coming up that I want to do, and I'm just getting excited for that. And I think that is, and the 2 or 3 week break away from that has definitely helped. And so we have a lot of stuff there. I would absolutely love to start doing some like miniature painting streams because they're really calm and
Oh.
relaxing for me.
I forgot you
And-
do that.
Yeah, these are never gonna finish themselves if I don't actually sit down and do it.
Yeah.
I think it froze for me. I didn't see the thing, but it's fine.
Oh, damn it. Here, bring it back just for you, Mike.
Ooh, I like that.
But
That's
so
really
like
nice.
I painted almost all of it in a day, and then I thought about painting the rest, and I didn't.
Wait, what is this in from what?
Warhammer 40k stuff.
Ah, gotcha.
So I
Is
do
it-
a lot
is
of
that.
that.
A mech?
Pretty
It's
much,
a walker, yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I want to bring some of those in. I want to, and I'd love to do my final one is I would love to do a couple like music streams because I don't know. I think a couple of you guys may know, but I'm not sure the extent. I play 13 instruments, and so
Whoa.
yeah, with
13?
that,
Really?
13. Oh yeah.
Are you gonna name them all for us too?
Might
Drums,
as well.
guitar,
Thanks.
bass, piano, alto sax, or hold on, was that 5 or 6? Alto sax, bari sax, tenor sax, bass clarinet, clarinet. Let's see. The last couple are a little weird. Are banjo, cello, and sitar. And I have the sitar in my drum kit here if you guys want to see that. So
Oh, the sitar.
yeah, that's what I'm wearing now. But I would love to do a couple music streams. The problem is I just don't know how I want to do that or what I want to do or what I want to make in those. So until I figure that out, that's kind of already on hold and it hasn't even happened.
That's
But,
fair. You come up with all these ideas, and then you're like, but how do I do them?
Exactly. And I think my only other goal is coming up with a plot as clever as the soybean clone modding scenario for
Ah, that was
2021. I
glorious.
see that evil look. I was so proud
I'm
of
still
that.
low-key super upset about it.
Oh man,
That
but
was glorious.
You should have seen my face when you announced it. I was just
I bet.
livid.
Josu and I and Mike have been planning that for weeks. We were so ready. But yeah, so that's kind of what I got going on. I'm feeling a lot better and I'm kind of ready to take on the new year. And I'm
Same.
excited for that.
Okay. Great. We're happy for you. And question though, how and why 13 instruments? What got you
Okay.
into that in the first place?
So this is some of these are kind of embarrassing, but it's a fun story, so I'll tell it anyway.
Okay.
I started playing piano when I was 5 or something like that. My mom was like, "Okay, Taylor, we're gonna take you to piano lessons," and I was like, "No, I'll never play piano." And then I liked it, which is how that goes. And piano is definitely one of the instruments I've fallen off on. And it's kind of sad, but it was still my first one. After that, I started playing clarinet in 5th grade when I decided to join the band so that I didn't have to take general music because I hated everybody in general music. So I figured I'd learn an instrument instead of taking that class. After that, in 6th grade, I was going to quit, but then I was told that I could play guitar in the stage band, and I thought that might make me more popular. It doesn't. So I learned guitar, and I also learned bass clarinet because I hated playing clarinet back then. In stage band, the band director had me play a lot of the different instruments or parts. Like he would have me learn how to play alto sax for an alto sax solo, and then go, "Oh, by the way, I gave the alto sax solo to an alto sax player," and I'd be like, "Okay." Well, just chalked up to another one. And so I learned all the saxophones there. I learned bass clarinet. Or not bass clarinet, bass guitar there. And then in high school, with my guitar, I took guitar lessons, and that's where I learned some of like the weirder ones, like cello and banjo and those stuff. Because sometimes we'd show up to a guitar lesson. He's like, "You want to learn a new instrument today?" I'd be like, "Sure," and he'd pull out like something in his room. Because we hit a point where I would show up. It would be like I would show up, and we were supposed to practice stuff for our following class and ensemble I was in, but I was already done it all. So he'd be like, "Cool, play through it once. Good. We have 20 minutes left. You want to learn how to play banjo?" Yeah, I want to learn how to play banjo. So I would do that, and then junior or senior year of high school, I think. Sean, a good friend of mine, who plays guitar really, really, really well, asked me, "Hey, do you play drums?" And I went, "Kinda. I've been messing around with it." He's like, "You want to make a band together?" And I was like, sure." So that's when I really started playing drums, and I hadn't really learned anything new since then. But sitar, I've been learning recently because I have like an actual sitar I can pull out later, but it's tough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of strings. There's a lot of weird music theory. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Music theory,
yeah.
Jesus.
So that's the whole story. I know that was windy, but
No, that's good. Like, because you don't hear
Give us a
that
demonstration.
like right now.
sitar? No,
Right now.
I'll show you the sitar. I'm not gonna play it.
Nah,
I'll
pull it
embarrass
out, bro.
myself.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. Good.
Damn right he is.
Is that Mrs. Meyer's dish soap?
Is it?
I think that looks like the brand. I mean, that's what I have. So
Yo, I know about that. Looks
that
familiar.
looks familiar.
The real pressing question of this
It's-
podcast.
It's
What
it's
kind
the
of
most
soap is that?
fascinating thing. Yeah, it's the most
Yeah, let's not
fascinating
look
thing.
at let's not look at the art in the background. Let's look at the soap.
Taylor, put the instrument down. We have a question. Is that what's that?
I'll tell you at the end of the stream.
Okay. Oh,
But so yeah, this is my sitar.
God,
So
that looks wicked.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So I got
That looks really intimidating.
it looks like a huge balloon
is.
in the back.
very, very intimidating.
Yeah.
There's
Wait,
Wow.
is that a
Only like-
balloon?
oh no, it's like a counterweight that goes on the back of the sitar.
What?
Ah.
So strange, yeah. It looks
Yeah.
like a weapon. Yeah, it does, Lynn. It does look like a weapon. But so
Yeah, love that sound.
I remember hearing that from Courage the Cowardly Dog as a kid.
Oh, is that
show.
a thing?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
one of the characters would play that in the basement all the time, and I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Mm.
Cool.
It's got a good sound to it. Like
It really does.
it
Like,
it hits places. Like he's checking out the. It is. It is. The lemon
okay, time
scent.
to end the stream.
got that in March when COVID was starting, and I was a lot more afraid of it.
Nice. That stuff's good.
Okay.
We could talk about that all day, but let's not. Yeah, cool.
Definitely cleans well.
Yeah,
I bet.
yeah. I think it's semi all natural or just better.
I can read
It's
the
not,
label
like,
if you
heavily.
want.
We're good. We're good.
Okay, guys,
Soap
ad
podcast.
time. Sponsored by Soap.
Mrs. Myers
I
dish
know,
soap.
right?
Have you ever had a tough stain you're unable to get out?
Yeah.
I don't know
dude.
anymore.
As I continue.
They have there's like 6 different scents to it too, at
Oh,
least.
now I need to know. Now I need to know
At
which one I have.
Yeah, yours is lemon.
He said, I know what it is. That's what kind it is, yeah.
It says lemon right there. It's lemon, isn't it?
He looked at you like, bro, what?
It is lemon.
It is lemon. Yes. Yes. I mean, that's the most common anyway.
Yeah.
I seriously got one right there in the kitchen. So
Sponsored by Buddha.
sponsored by
In the
Buddha.
background.
So no, thanks for sharing that. That's cool to hear.
Of course.
Because it's like, I had another question about that too. Because, I mean, just to be able to understand and be able to play that many instruments too. It's like, do you have? I mean, this is like a stupid question too, but it's like, do you feel like you have like a heightened understanding compared to others
No.
about music?
No.
Okay.
Every time I learn a new instrument, I realize how much I don't know. And I realize just how little I understand. For example, the only thing I think I have any advantage or knowledge over other people on is rhythm theory, because of all the drums I've played and all the stuff I've had to write for drums. But like when it comes to like melodic stuff, anything that has to do with scales, I have no idea how to do it. I just play notes that are in front of me and play cover songs on guitars and stuff like that. But Yeah, like especially when I started branching out into instruments not from Europe or America,
Mhm.
you realize how different music can be because
Yeah.
there like there's India, then there's the Middle East, and there's musics there with a whole different like style of doing everything. All of Asia's got different instruments, and some of them have unique ways of playing music theory, melodic theory,
Mhm.
and there's just too much information for me to feasibly learn about and then remember. So I just don't.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the different cultural music. It's like speaking a completely different language in a sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right. So as for me, 2021 plans. I think
Mm.
like there's gonna be. I mean, I've been doing a lot of random stuff lately, like
Yeah.
cleaning the house, vacuuming, and crap.
I love those streams. Please don't stop those.
Yes.
No,
I'll
My
put them on in
favorite
the background
stream
and
was
I'll just be like, I can relax. Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I
my
think
favorite
it's.
was when we were doing Twitch Sings with Big Bird, and you were just wrapping presents in the background.
You're just over here
Yeah, it just
chilling.
happened to me. It's like, okay, I'll come chill and stuff.
Oh, it was so funny.
And Big Bird's out there
Well,
too.
it's Christmas.
I mean, I messed with the whole sound of the stream, but I hope you're okay with that.
Just this really serious, very dramatic song, and then all of a sudden you just hear the scissors clipping through paper.
Yeah, it's that shearing sound that is like really shrill like.
ASMR sharing. Let's go.
Yeah. And speaking of ASMR, I might try that one time and see how it goes.
I was thinking about doing that too, just for funsies, because this mic can actually go pretty loud, so I can do ASMR. That just seems kind of cringy, so I might want to try it too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's that cringe part too, but
I mean, that's why I do it.
but it seems like I don't know. Me personally, it seems like it seems interesting to do, and I want to see if I can do it, and because one of the things about it is like, okay, it's all you have is sound at that point, and then really getting intricate with it and trying to create like a relaxing tone, I suppose, rather than something that's super irritating and disturbing and whatnot.
You know, that's funny. ASMR to me just sounds like a lot of whispering, and so that kind of irritates me by itself.
Oh, really?
The
I'm
whispering
going to
aspect
defend
to
it because ASMR was something I didn't understand. Okay, no
Yeah.
idea. I was like, why do people listen to this? And then I started like with some of the like where they have like sand and they like push the little microphone into the sand, and I was like, wow, that's a fun. I like that sound. And then like with I kind of discovered more things like that. And I was like, I understand it. I get why people do this.
Get it now?
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
maybe the only experience I've had is with vocal ASMR, but if it's like objects
Oh, there's
and
so
stuff,
many
maybe
types. You got to branch out.
yeah, gotta expand my horizons on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be anything, absolutely anything. Like somebody
Constant
like
mixing ASMR and
I'm
stuff.
just okay. The sound of a mouse moving on the mouse pad. That's like its own sound too. So I mean, something stupid like that, but it can actually have an effect.
Oh, dude, that sounds amazing.
And I guess I've like whoever's looking for that sort of thing is just looking for. I mean, it's looking for like a sensation in a sense, but I think it's supposed to be more geared towards like, okay, being able to relax or have like
Yeah,
a
sleep or
euphoric
whatever.
feeling somewhat. So,
Meditation. Yeah.
but what else?
I like
Like,
the rain ones.
yeah, right. Yeah, I actually use that sometimes. The blackout ones from YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll just have it on
Same.
rain sounds and then go to sleep with that. Yeah, it's
For
pretty
me, I
good.
have the train sounds on. I
Train.
don't know what it is about
Trains?
the
Is
the
it-
trains. Yeah,
Did you
can
grow up
have a
around
train.
trains?
True,
Well,
true.
Not that kind of train, like subway train. But yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
I grew up in a suburb, so there was always trains running every day, and so I just got used to that. And they have it so where you could have the trains running with rain hitting the window, and it's just really nice and peaceful if you're just
Oh,
used to the
okay.
trains. Yeah. So I put that on every night to go to sleep. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, and we each have our own little like niche sort of connection with sound. I'd say like there's certain triggers, like good triggers, bad triggers too, but There,
Yeah,
there's like a
triggers are
particular
triggers.
thing that we're looking for, I think, for each individual. Um,
For sure.
well, besides ASMR, and that's like if I happen to fall into it, I'd say it's a difficult thing to get set up properly, and it's kind of like
Hmm.
way left field. Um,
True.
but besides that, I think just more of this podcast stuff, and I think it's going to evolve and become more solidified as it goes on. As
Naturally.
I get used to this and then understand, like, what is it really formulating into, um, and what else?
Do you want to have it on a schedule, or do you want to just do it kind of how it is right now and just whenever it develops?
Whenever it develops, because I'm a Pisces and I can't help. I can't control this sort of thing. That's that's the excuse I use every time. You don't care about them, I know. And I'm just kind of joking too, but kind of joking, but no, I feel like I can use that excuse for a lot of different things. It's
I
self-explanatory.
can get out of work. I'm a Pisces. I need to get off.
Yeah, I know, right? And you don't know what's going to happen too. That's the when you need like some time away.
That's just be me. I'm a Capricorn. I need a week off of streaming. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. Um, I had some other stuff, but I think I want to keep with this completely random sort of streaming that I've been doing.
Yeah.
Everything else, like outside, like of streaming too, is pretty much going to stay, I think, the same. So there's nothing really to share with that, but um, I think both worlds are kind of borrowing from each other, for me personally. So yeah, I had something in mind, but I forgot about it. Like there are some other plans, but overall, I just know it's going to be a fun year because all these different projects. There's a chess tournament coming up. It's still coming up, and then at some point I'm going to have to like freeze that. Okay, we have our members now. Okay, we're going to go
Yeah.
forward with that, and then really push it forward. And yeah, I'm excited because really it's part of it is just seeing what everybody else is doing and what they're getting into also, and really
Oh,
rolling
that
with it.
reminds me. I also got into editing last year.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
That's
so
been fun.
yeah, and uploading to because you have a YouTube.
Yeah, I upload to my YouTube. I basically take all my gaming streams and I upload them to my YouTube channel. I don't really do too much editing on mine. I just kind of dump them there and say, "Oh yeah, I did that thing." But when it comes to editing for other people, I tend to cut out a lot of the, minute stuff like the BRB screens or the long pauses between talking. You know, but
Oh yeah,
the
just the.
lighting.
Oh, it's getting dark in my place, so I gotta.
He's like, "Hold on, I gotta turn my lights on."
The sun is finally starting to go down.
Oh, the lights. The
I'm
sun
in a
has been out
basement
for a
suite and
while.
I have no light.
Oh,
Perfect.
So it's just I just have like 5 lights on
oh
at all
wow.
times.
No, your screen looks like the most natural in terms of light.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
because of my
To
new lamp right there.
nice.
to be
Yeah.
honest, but yeah, editing's been fun. I've enjoyed that. That's my OCD for whenever I get bored. I'm just like, I need to do something that's perfectionist. And
Hmm.
what's more perfectionist than editing a video?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Um,
scratches my own perfectionist niche. Just I need to make this perfect.
yeah, and are you still like in learning mode, like learning how
Yeah,
to do
very
it and
much
all
so.
that?
I'm still learning how to do transitions. I need to get better at my cuts to make them more smooth so that they don't seem like actual cuts, so
Hmm.
that people don't notice that I've actually edited it. Like I need to get better at that stuff. I need to learn how to add transitions. But those are small things that I can pick up as I go. But it's definitely still a learning process. I just have fun doing it.
Hmm.
It's not something I'm that deep into. Like I'm not going to become a master at editing. It's just something I do for fun, and I have the time. So
Yeah, something you care about, and would you
yeah,
say so? Music and sound is a critical part of that. For the transitions.
yeah. Music, sound, what you put as a transition can even go. You can even put in like cards that say 15 minutes later. You can pull the whole SpongeBob meme thing. It's like, and one eternity later,
Yeah.
put that in there. Because there have been moments where, God, it's been like 20 minutes of
Yeah.
dead silence, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
cut that out. Stitch. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. It's something I do on my weekends and my nights when I'm not streaming. And it's been a lot of fun to get through his backlog. Pretty much.
Wait, who's back
'Cause
left? Taylor's?
Taylor's
Hi.
backlog.
He
Okay.
Yeah.
may or may not be editing for me. All these are
Yeah.
valid complaints.
Yeah. I've even gone so far as to add new playlists and schedule them for him so he doesn't have to do anything.
God bless his soul.
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
before it was just like, I don't want to do that. Now I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it. He's not doing it.
Do you have a wage?
It's
Or is this all volunteer?
I'm doing it for free for now.
For now.
For now.
When I start making money, I'll pay him.
I mean,
So
he doesn't
that's-
really have to pay me. He just needs to re-up my sub every month. I'll be happy.
Give you all the
There you go.
emails.
Pretty much. Speaking of which, it's expired already, so yay.
Oh, okay. I guess it's time.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's about it.
Yeah, that's really cool to see though, because like all of us have our different strengths or the things we want to work on, and
Yes.
with multiple projects, like you guys know of the different things happening, events or projects happening. It's working together
Some of
on
them.
that. Some of them, and some of the stuff we don't know about yet, right?
Oh God, that reminded me of all the Nugget streams that happened last year.
Watching those made me sick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
avoided a lot of them. Not my
I
thing.
avoided them, but I always kept track of who ate the most nuggets.
Yeah, who is it? Big Bird still?
Very important.
No, it's Ollie. Ollie ate 90 nuggets.
Ollie.
Nah.
90 out of 100, yep. I didn't watch the VOD, so I don't know how sick he got, but I imagine, God, 90 nuggets, man. Ugh.
I'll eat puked them too.
I bet.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I've eaten, I think, 30 nuggets before, because you can get like those Uber Eats deals where you get like 40 nuggets, 2 fries, and like a drink or something like that for like $20. So I'm like, oh, I'll have leftovers.
I've done that before, yeah.
And like I'll eat 30 and I'll feel sick, right? I'll be like, I don't even want to move out of my bed today. So
Fair enough.
3 times that? Hell no.
3 times that. 3 times.
Hell no.
3 times. In one sitting. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, no, I couldn't do that in one sitting. I couldn't even do like the first quarter in one sitting. I'd be like, nope. Blech. But I respect people that do it. And the fact that it got traction the way it did, my God.
Like sort of
At first I
respect.
was like, I don't.
Right. It's like define respect in that sense, though. 'Cause-
Well, no, I just respect the fact that people wanted to do it and actually did it. Couldn't be me. I would never do it, but it's just hilarious how many people actually did it. For whatever reason. I don't even know why they did it half the time. They just wanted to do it.
They just want the props.
Pretty much.
I'm glad that it got to 90 because I wanted to be in that challenge too. But once it started going up, I mean, Big Bird just like tipped the scale all the way, and I was like, okay,
you kind
let's
of
not
did
do
an
this.
eating thing, didn't you? Eat like Taco Bell?
Taco Bell nachos. Yeah, I accidentally get that huge box, the party pack box, party nacho pack, and like again, it was an accident. So I decided.
I have this thing. I
Yeah,
have
go
this
ahead.
thing where listening to people eat, like it's bad. I'm like I have to like work on this. This is like a problem I need to fix. But
When
like
people have it.
listening to people eat makes me like upset and like mad. Like it really makes like
I'm there
messes with me.
too.
You're there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Says the guy eating pizza.
That's why I muted
Yeah.
the mic, okay?
Yeah, on screen.
But no, that's funny. But whenever I saw those streams, I would come out, like, for the example, the party box, I came in, I was like, hey, Jimmo, gotta go now, bye, good luck. Because I wanted to say hi and see it, but, like, I didn't want to have to, like, watch and hear it, if that makes sense. But,
Yeah.
ugh.
Just mute the streams. It's fine.
Well, I leave them
It's
on in the
like-
background.
It's a disturbing thing to watch too, though. So, like I knew some people who had that problem too. Not problem, but like just
It's okay to say problem.
no,
It's a problem.
aversion
Yeah,
to it.
it's not okay to get
aversion
upset
to
that
it.
people are eating.
But
Yeah.
do you feel the same way, like with hearing knives and forks on the plate, or just like
Velcro's bad.
Velcro's bad?
Velcro's really bad.
Velcro,
for me.
Oh, we're
really?
just jumping the Velcro now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Velcro
Styrofoam is really
ASMR,
bad
let's
for me.
go.
I
Styrofoam.
love styrofoam. I don't know what it
Do
is
you?
about it.
Well, you're a
The
crafty
sound.
person, but then Velcro. Yeah. To each
It's
their
For
own.
me,
weird.
it's
I don't.
chalk.
I don't pretend to understand.
Chalk on a
chalk is bad.
chalkboard, I hate
Chalk
it.
is bad.
Chalk is just, ugh. I don't like chalk. Ugh. We all have our own like sound issues, I guess, but it's just like chalk.
Yeah.
Makes me want to cringe and throw myself in a hole.
Yeah. For
Caution
me,
check and
for me,
stuff.
it'd be a
Mm.
certain high pitch voices. I'm just, well,
Say
anyway,
again, whenever she does her high pitch.
I don't know of, but anyway.
I remember that. There's the one character in I that like I don't like her voice.
So it is
Oh,
I.
yeah,
It's not
I
AI.
remember
It's
that.
I.
I think
It's
it's
I.
I
It's
because I kept calling it AI, and then eventually someone said Taylor, it's I, and I was like, what?
Soju
But-
challenge.
No soju challenges. Actually,
Yeah, no.
maybe one day, but no.
Oh?
Jim, what?
Maybe so.
I had a phase. I had a very very short lived phase in like Korean karaoke bars.
Yeah.
There was just flavored soju all over the place. Like Big Bird, put flavor into the soju. You got it. Stop drinking unflavored soju.
That's
It's-
a meme at this point. He'd be like, oh, guess what Big Bird's drinking? Unflavored soju? Yep.
Yeah. How could you?
What Jim said.
Yeah, I wanted to touch real quick too because Taylor mentioned it. Like it's good to take a break, and Mike too.
Yes.
You took a break, and
Yes.
I have trouble with taking a break, but whenever I think it's good though still because it's like sometimes that break means okay you're working on stuff in the background which I hadn't really touched for a long time. So
Yeah.
this week I was able to, and I feel so much better about whatever I've pieced together just to help with my channel a little bit. Not bring it to life, but like just bring some extra new stuff because months go by and then it's but like for anybody who isn't aware of that, there's a lot of that work outside of just being here and being live as well. Those little tweaks and like editing, little musical flares and such. It makes a difference just to polish
Like,
things out.
To give a prime example, I've added sound commands to my channel for channel points.
So it works now.
Yeah, I got it to work. I
Cool.
had to install the program, but it works now. So whenever you go in my stream, you can redeem sound commands.
Nice.
Nice.
But that's just a little touch I've added recently. But stuff like that is usually what you want to do when you improve. You want to add little certain things as you go along. Like, obviously, you want the core to be you, the game, or whatever you're doing, but those little touches go a long way with engagement, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's the fun part. Just being able to like click on the channel point reward or mess around but interact. It's a fun thing. It's a fun thing.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Well, we're gonna
I will
jump.
say, in
Okay.
terms of breaks outside of streaming,
Yeah.
I tend to only take breaks if I totally burn out.
Yes.
And so, in terms of circus, I've done hula hoop dance for like 8 years or something. Like I've been doing it for quite a while. But all of last year, I did it. I don't know, like 10 times in total. Like I completely just burnt myself out, and so this past year has been a total break in that. So going into 2021, I wouldn't mind getting back into that, which is good. Just trying to find a way not to burn out again.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to
Yeah.
be the challenge.
I can relate to that. I think burnout is a major problem that happens with whatever you do, regardless if it's streaming or working or whatever. You know, whatever your passion tends to be, like you love to do it so much that you don't really realize that you're getting tired of it until it's already too late. And
Yeah.
then you're like, yeah, I kind of need to take a step back.
And then you realize after taking a year-long break that you're no longer nearly as good or as flexible as you used to be.
Yeah, it's like you gotta keep going at it. Like me with Fortnite last night, I sucked, and it was like a week and a half since I played. But I mean, that's that's kind of unrelated, but I know what you're saying.
No, it's the same general principle, though.
Mm.
The less you do it, the less accustomed you get to it. You know?
Yeah.
I definitely felt some rust coming back for my my stream first back from the break. It's like
Hmm.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, but like
Yeah.
it's definitely still there.
Still got it.
So
Still got it.
It's still there, but it's just rusty, and you're
It's
just like,
just-
am I doing it right?
yeah, you're like it's still there, but
Yeah.
I'm awful at this now.
Am I reading chat enough? Oh God.
Oh gosh. So sometimes it's difficult.
Oh,
but it's
Jim,
fun.
I
That's
feel
like
so bad for you.
that's like the best part. Like interacting with everybody and like seeing how everyone's doing and interacting with whatever like is happening. I guess some like funny questions sometimes or just random stuff too. But that's the fun part, the cool part.
I agree.
So so soybean, you're so what's your relaxation mode? Like if you get overwhelmed, it's probably
Relaxation. What's that?
listening to music and just chilling with music is one of your things, right?
I don't know. It's a good question because I don't relax per se, and
Oh.
relaxing is like going into my hobbies, which ends up being a whole thing, and then I get burned out, and then I just start up another hobby.
Oh,
So it's a cycle
So-
for you.
wow.
So like circus was my relaxation for a long time, and just like stress relief, and it was great. You get exercise, you do all these really cool things, and it feels great. But then you burn out, and then what do you do now?
You mask it with another hobby, right? That's what you're saying?
Exactly.
Just mask it.
Yes. So I
Mm.
don't know. I guess right now it would be Twitch. I guess just kind of hanging out with people.
Mhm.
Imagine Twitch being a hobby. It's one of the best.
All you
But at the
people
same
out
time,
there,
too, like,
that's the hobby right
I'm
now.
active in chat, and I'm a mod for people, and so it's not actual relaxing.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a
But
little
it
bit
is.
of stress, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. So
And soybean's my mod, by the way. Whoever doesn't
Yeah.
know, I never want you to stress out about it. Like ultimately, it's on me if something weird happened. But I try to. But of course, it's difficult sometimes to do like two things at once.
Yeah, for sure.
And when it feels like 10 things at once, and the streamer gets all like flustered and things get chaotic for no reason. Actually, it's just all in here.
Fair enough. I mean, I think for me as a mod, I just enjoy smiting people, so it works out.
the
It's like,
hammer.
oh, you causing problems? Bam.
Want to buy followers? Click the
Bam.
link.
Get destroyed. Oh god. I remember one time we did the Nightbot ban ceremony. That was fun.
What?
I had a long time ago.
What's
Hold
this?
on.
this
I
is
think
the
this
thing,
is
apparently.
this is a definitely before both of your time in my stream, but we had a channel point reward where if they hit the goal, we would ban Nightbot for a week because Nightbot.
I remember that.
Oh, you were there? Okay.
I think I was there at like
Oh,
the
that's
tail end
funny.
of it all.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of blurs together. So
It all blurs in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I Nightbot. I had a guy that would come around the stream. He's from he's Australian, and every time he came into the stream, Nightbot would ban him
Without saying
like,
anything?
Nothing, no like bad words or anything, but it would just smite his message every time, and like other people could like type either the same message or really similar stuff, and they'd be fine. And he typed something, banned by Nightbot. So that's why Nightbot's not a mod in my Discord, or not my Discord, in my stream, is because it banned him so many times. I just unmodded them and never modded them again.
Yeah.
And then we had a ceremony to ban Nightbot. If they hit like 100,000 fish were donated, I had like a whole speech. We played like a whole bunch of like hymns and stuff in the background, and then we banished Nightbot off of the realm for 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
God. I remember the hymns. That was like the most creepiest part of the whole thing.
The hymns.
Back when you could just play any music you wanted to. I just searched creepy hymnal music or something like that, or like creepy like church music on YouTube, and they just hit me up with a bunch of really good ones. So I used that in the background.
Castlevania music.
Oh, that probably be really
hearing.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely a weird time, but I enjoyed that.
Good night, Nightbot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to
I mean, it
sleep
comes with
forever.
its issues.
The new Dr. Seuss book by Jimocchio. Good night, Nightbot.
Jimocchio.
I could see him doing a Dr.
Whatever.
Damn it!
It's like I don't even care anymore. No, I go into
Jimocchio.
like a new
Jimocchio.
stream, like a person's channel that I
Pinocchio.
haven't really met before,
Jimmy.
and I get a lot of
Jimmo.
Jimocchios first, and then
Sure.
I gotta clarify. But it's fine. It's whatever at this point. I mean, if
I'm
Papa
very
Jimmo
sorry.
can get by sometimes, then
Get on
whatever.
Papa Jimmy. What's up?
Anything goes. Are you guys ready to jump into this next thing here?
Oh,
I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, but
okay.
we're gonna start with Taylor though.
Ooh.
D&D.
Oh boy.
We're jumping in.
Here we go.
We're jumping in right now.
I can't answer this. I don't play D&D, so
That's really
I'm
too
just
bad.
gonna
Ah.
chime in
Okay.
here and there.
Well, so it's a hypothetical question at the very least. And I'm sure you know the archetypical classes. I mean, it's still synonymous to like RPGs and whatnot. No. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So the question would be, what is your typical class and why?
So, my typical class I play is gunslingers, because,
Gunslinger.
and I know that's kind of like a newer one, if that makes sense, and a lot of them are
It's less
online
traditional.
ones that are
It's
in the
not
book. It's less
traditional.
traditional.
Yeah.
So what those are, they're basically, what's the best way to describe it? It's kind of like a ranger fighter hybrid. So they have guns and they have some martial ability, but what I like to do is basically just come up with an Edward Kenway class where the character's charismatic, he's strong, he's dexterous, but he actually cannot function in any sort of like in-game politics scenario. He is absolutely awful at it, because I think those types, like coming up with a character is the best, like with a fault is the best way to play D&D, right? And
Sounds
having
like
something
Jack
you're
Sparrow.
really bad at. Yeah, kind of like him too.
Yeah.
Except a little less, I guess, memey for most of the campaigns. So that's why I said the asterisk, because if I can come up with a cool idea, I'll play anything. I've just played Gunslinger the most. So the last time I played Gunslinger, I played a Gearforged, which is another less traditional race. Basically, like a steampunk robot. And it was the best way to describe him was the robot from Star Wars Rogue One. Really strong, except he just always spoke everything on his mind and did not care about the other people's like feelings, thoughts, or whatever, to a certain degree that it's not like gonna hurt your campaign, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to throw our party in danger, but when I play a barbarian with 3 intelligence, I might do something stupid, right? Like, I might do something like, if I'm at a dinner party, I might eat the plate. Like, just something dumb to make a fun little thing for the DM to have to come up with. How does I go? I eat the plate. Why?
Yeah.
Because I failed a wisdom saving throw I gave myself. And
It's really-
then the DM's got to come up with something for that. And I usually DM now, though, so
Yeah.
that's kind of why it's big asterisks. I kind of do everything I can with that.
D&D stream win.
Give me 4 players.
Big
Give me 4
question there.
players.
Oh, I'll give you 4 players. Hold up.
Mike asked the question like monthly, I guess. If
I
it comes
do,
up, like
honestly.
when's it gonna
D&D
happen?
stream win. Come on.
When?
Come on. I've got 3 people. Is it close enough? No. God damn it.
Oh,
I need 4.
yep,
Monsters
you
are
gotta-
balanced for 4.
I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, so you're a DM, or you do a lot of DMing. Is it your own set of monsters that you've created?
Oh, Jim.
It's opening up like a can of worms right now.
That sounds
I
like a good
have
It's a
question.
big question.
created an entire new rule set based around science fiction, and like using Starfinder and 5e as a base. I created a whole new rule set, new monsters, new weapons, new tack and turn orders. Like, New
Jesus.
stats, everything. Like I almost made my own character sheet for it before I ran out of time before the first session, and just used the 5e one and told them to cross out like 4 of the stat lines and rewrite like an electronics one, like a hacking skill or something like that. Like a couple like more futuristic-y ones.
Yeah.
But I had to come up with how to introduce like fully automatic weapons into gameplay, right? Because in D&D
It's
it's swords, single shot pistols, right?
turn
Bows
turn
with the
based too
turn-based. Yeah.
with that.
So you have to figure how does a guy firing basically like an AK-47 deal damage? How
Yeah.
how hurt would someone be after taking like a burst of that? And the answer is very hurt. So the way it works is it plays a lot like XCOM, where even at higher levels, players can really only survive 2 or 3 hits. So there's, but because of that, you have to have, and this is just kind of the logic I have to go through, right? So then,
Yeah.
okay, if there's bullets flying, I need to redo the entire cover system now. So I have my own cover system made for the thing, and you have, instead of an AC, you have a dodge stat. And cover adds to your dodge stat, but armor doesn't, because armor is a damage mitigate, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So, yeah, that's why I laughed like that. I have built from the ground up. I'm on my 3rd iteration of the rule set. If it ever gets to a point I actually think it's good, I'll give it to you guys. But it needs 20 more iterations before it'll hit that. And the only way to find problems is to go in and tell my friends, destroy my rule set. Break it, right? Like, go in for a one-shot.
Yeah.
Make the most broken character you can. Abuse my rules. And that's how you find out, like, ways that people will absolutely brutalize your rules and come up with a way, for example, to make a character that is impervious to every damage type. If they do, like, blocking attacks. So their attacks are halved, but they can't take damage anymore. And then they would combine that with, like, a taunt I had thrown in, and now no enemy is allowed to attack anyone but that person. And so that fight was, like, 20 minutes long. The whole session, it was about 30, and I was like, okay, I see that maybe we gotta break apart this class, make it 2 classes, work on that type of stuff. So
Yeah. How long have you been working on this? Like, or maybe a better question is like, when did you start playing, and then when did this idea of creating a whole new system come up?
So I started playing D&D sophomore year of high school. I played a very short campaign because the members didn't show up. And then I did another campaign senior year of high school. And that one was a little longer. That was a lot of fun. And after that, I realized, hey, I kind of want to do a D&D campaign. And the guy who had DM'd every campaign I had been a part of, really, had always wanted to play. So I was like, perfect, you can play in my campaign. But I also wanted to kind of delineate the way I did D&D from making my own, from the way, like, just a regular 5e campaign. And I know you can very easily, within the rule sets, make your own worlds and everything. But I was like, what if we made it a lot more like XCOM? Because I had 10 players. It's way too much.
Yep.
Never do it.
Yeah.
We had
I'm gonna
10
say
people.
10 players? Jesus.
Oh, yes. We had 10 people, and I was like, I want to make a world where it's science fiction-y. I've been playing a ton of XCOM back then, and I want to do something like XCOM. So I came up with a system, and we ran it like a single battle, right? Single fight, just to test the base system. And it was absolutely atrocious. No one had fun. No one understood
Right.
anything about how it worked. It was just too much writing, too verbose. And so I went, okay, that failed. Let's try again. So I made the second iteration. And with that one, we did another battle, and everyone kind of understood the combat a lot more. It made more sense. And so I was like, okay, let's do a campaign with it. So we had 4 sessions of that campaign of what was supposed to be much longer before I realized the fatal mistake I made. I decided to make the entire world's currency system a barter system.
That's a huge... That's...
But I hadn't thought that, Taylor,
Yeah. Man.
what's the... So if you have a cell phone, what's that worth? Oh, it'll be worth like 3 gallons of water. Well, what's 3 gallons of water worth, Taylor? a week's worth of food. What's a week's worth of food worth? And so you'd have to sit there and you like go through all these horrible equations and things like that of how that worked, and stuff like keeping track of repacking magazines and ammo and stuff. And
Jesus.
it was, and like people had to take time during long rests to decide what they were gonna do. And I was like, okay, so this sucked.
Mhm.
So the third iteration, I took out 90% of the rules and just said, I'm like, none of these are fun.
Yeah, streamlining is
Yeah.
streamlining. That's the point of
Yeah, no, for real. And I
yeah.
didn't realize how difficult it is. But you could, there was like rules for example, firing the different type of weapons. There were 8 different like rule sets depending on the type of weapon and class for the way the weapon was supposed to fire. Now, there is one rule. It is a weapon has a certain amount of shots before it's reloaded. It does this much damage. Before it was, okay, it has this value. If you do this, you have this. Like
Mhm.
if you use like a bigger gun, the enemy gets suppression penalties, and then I completely
Yeah.
took that out. It was just too much for me to keep track of. It was too much for them to keep track of, and no one enjoyed it.
But
So,
you could probably say that to you in your own intricate mind. It's fun. If somebody else understood the whole world and could math out everything, all
the
the
thing is, yeah, the thing is, it was better done as a video game.
yeah, exactly. That's why video games exist.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Simplify.
So I had to
We don't have to
realize,
think about it.
right? Like this isn't a video game. I have to keep track of all the rules, and I have 10 players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10,
they
10
come from
player big mistake.
Everyone, right? And
Yeah.
everyone's always got a question, and that's okay because it's a brand new rule set I made up. But like the first hour of a session would be, okay, let's ask questions about my class, the rules, this, like all this stuff, and I was like, this needs to change. So we're on the third iteration now. It's working pretty well. There's been a few minor changes. I'm ready to add to it again for when I do the fourth, but it definitely is a more punishing and harder system to use in terms of like actual difficulty of it, if that makes sense. Like D&D 5e is very forgiving if you have a nice DM. Like you can sit there and send a Elder Red Dragon at your players at level 1 and they'll die. But I like to keep my players understanding that their characters are only humans or mortals, right? Because I came up with my own races as well. And I had a guy he got crit in an attack. He was running, and an enemy had been overwatched. Basically, the concept from XCOM, where he was like basically watching over him, and the guy took a shot, critted, killed him. He died.
Yeah,
3 death saving throws immediately.
and it's like because you have limitations as a DM to just change the rules on the fly. Because
Yeah.
like there's something dissatisfying about that too. If you just go full flexibility and just to make things work, but it's less convincing at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
we're excited to see that someday, but it sounds like it's going to be many years before we see the
Oh,
this
absolutely.
final
Before I
version.
can find that fourth player, yeah.
Oh no!
Also,
If we
in
do
that too.
D&D streams, it's gonna be 5e. I'm not teaching any more people this rule set.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I
like
enjoy 5e.
I've played like a few sit downs, but never finished the campaign. Never got quite through it. I don't know about what about you, Mike? Oh crap!
I've never played, period. Like, I've only watched it on YouTube. Very briefly, I watched one entire campaign of D&D. It was 5e, and the only class out of that entire campaign that I liked was Monk. Because as the story went on, the monk got progressively stronger and stronger and stronger, and by the end, he was basically a demigod who could
But-
punch like gods in the face and not take any damage.
Based on
Which I
what
thought
though?
was nuts.
I'm curious
It
about
was-
based off what.
Based off of like the 5e rule set, it was set in a pirate like setting, which, you know, for a campaign, that's not a bad setting, I suppose. But it was a homebrew. It had its own universe, its own lore. The DM made up a lot of the rules,
Yeah.
but it was based off the 5e template. And as someone that never got into D&D before that, I just wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was like, all right, so what's the deal with getting a bunch of nerds together and rolling dice?
A bunch of nerds.
Yeah,
That's all of you out there.
And then I was like, oh, this is basically a live action RPG, but like sitting down at a table with your imagination. I was like, that's
Yeah.
cool.
With your imagination.
So with that in tow, it kind of got me into thinking, I want to try that. And so after
Mhm.
talking to Taylor and figuring out he was a DM, I'm like, well, guess I gotta find 4 people. Sadly, I've only found like 3
Mhm.
so far. So if I can find that 4th person in stream, hey, let me
Fourth
know. I'd
person.
love to do a D&D campaign. Damn it!
Yeah, actually, yeah, we're calling you out right now. Who out there wants to join? Um,
Join the club, please. I beg. I want to play D&D.
yeah, and like I personally haven't been able to experience enough to, and plus I'm not good at it. Like saying it that way it sounds wrong, but it's like because it's being able to be
Well,
immersive with being in character and going into that, and
I was gonna say it's probably a blend of knowing what your character is like charismatically as a character, but then also knowing what your character can do within its class that you have to kind
mhm,
of balance
mhm,
without also being that character. So I can see why it's a lot for
yeah,
sure.
okay,
What's really hard is when you have a character like a barbarian who's got, for example, 5 intelligence, 4 wisdom.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, it's really hard when your like friends are playing and there's obviously a trap, right?
Hmm.
You're obviously being trapped into doing something, and no one else sees it. But you
mhm,
Hmm.
can't go, guys. This is obviously a trap because you are a barbarian with 5 intelligence, and get
yeah,
about the brain of a cow, right? So
Be right back.
cow brain,
it's tough to stick with that character and like go and play him the whole way through or play her the whole way through because it's just hard to not let yourself bleed into it. But I think that's where the fun is when you really like double down on the this is who I'm acting as. I need to get into the mindset of who this is.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and like it takes like some people. I would assume that it's super rare for a newcomer to be able to just do it, just get into
Not
it. Like it takes a lot of
not unless
practice
they had
to.
a bunch of prep time to learn the ins and outs of whatever class they're using beforehand.
Yeah, yeah, because otherwise it's a lot of hesitation and a lot of questions. Like, oh, what do you? So it breaks the uh, the
The
mood, I
flow,
guess, the flow.
the flow, yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, in a few words, Taylor, gunslinger. Why does it resonate with you? Some like, is there a reason? Like more like deeply, and not like deeply, but you know what I mean. Or okay,
I
I'm just gonna ask
No,
for
you're
fun.
good. You're good.
Does it speak to your soul? Is it a reflection of yourself within?
Um,
Oh Jesus.
I'm just joking though, but
no, you're good. You're good. I'm trying to think of how to
Get
respond.
into it.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Actually, no. Okay.
Dumb.
You know what? I'll use this. It's like it's one of those things where whenever I play a game or whenever I'm supposed to make characters or something like that, I end up with something either that is the Darkest Dungeon, Highwaymen, or something really similar
Yeah.
every time.
yeah,
So
Darkest
there's
Dungeon.
probably some part of me that just likes the I don't need to give a shit about anything except myself.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, break that is just nice and it's fun to play. It's fun for me to do. Maybe I am like that more than I realize. And it resonates me
We're
that
gonna be
way.
observing from here on too. Look for those
Christ.
clues. Yeah,
But geez, now you make me want to play Darkest Dungeon.
I know. I miss it. I miss it. Okay.
But yeah,
What?
so it's that type of thing. It's just
Okay.
whenever I come up with a character, that's what it turns out being.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like even Cyberpunk, I'm a pistol wielding, smooth talking asshole.
So you just so
Okay.
you just want to be Han Solo? Is that what I'm telling you?
Yes, that's
Yes.
it.
You want to be Han Solo?
Yeah, that's a
He was my
good.
favorite Star Wars character.
That's a
So I
good
guess, I
good way
guess
to put
that's
it.
it.
Wonderful.
Smooth talking asshole.
I
There
like
you go.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
He's cool.
that works.
He's
Yeah.
cool.
God.
Mike the monk.
Yeah, the monk. God, I listen. I've never been in a campaign, but like just watching that one campaign with where the monk like progressively got stronger. It was like literally watching a character go from okay, I'm strong enough to kill this like thief to, okay, I'm strong enough by the end to kill a dang god. Like that, like power fantasy for me with a monk is just because like the monk is purely built off of I'm going to punch it in the face and it's going to die, and something about that is just like so cathartic for me because I'm like that the guy in the wheelchair that can't fight people. So for me, it's just like to be able to role play that power fantasy is amazing. I want to
But
be able to punch the shit out of people.
there's a conflict in the meaning there because a monk is
Yeah.
also like super peaceful,
Yeah, well,
peace
listen, my
giving,
monk is gonna
spiritual,
be corrupted.
bloodying people in the nose.
Look, listen.
You
my
completely
monk-
bypassed that and just
look,
went raw
look,
strength
my-
on the guy.
Listen, my monk is lost his way. He wants revenge and he wants to go out for blood. That's what he wants. He's been corrupted. That's the lore for my monk. He's gonna be a corrupted evil monk that only wants power.
Power. That's an interesting story. Actually, I hope you have a story behind that when we finally get to play at some point.
Yeah, so my plot line for my character is going to be, oh, his brother died and he wants revenge, and as he goes for revenge to get revenge for his brother, he slowly loses his way and becomes power mad.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's the basic plot line for that character, if I ever get to play that out.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
um,
What about you, Jim?
all right, so me, Paladin or Ranger has always been the theme for me, but Ranger would have been like, before 5 years ago. Now it's transitioned into Paladin, and the way I think of that is, I think of it as growth because there's something about it too, which I don't want to like overemphasize or overstate it, but it's like, yeah, these classes speak to us in some sort of way. I'm probably saying too much, like overstating it, but I think it's true still because we want to be in character of something that we perhaps strive for in a sense. And
Yeah,
so,
I mean, there's multiple reasons of why you pick the character class that you do. Some people want to enact a fantasy that they can't do in real life for obvious reasons, like the law. But,
yeah, break
so, there's multiple
break the
reasons why
rules.
somebody wants to be a particular character.
Be that evil monk
Yes,
and all.
that
Yeah.
murders everything.
Yeah.
So Soybean, because you've been, I'm sure, looking up and studying all the character classes while we've been talking. Which one would you?
Oh,
choose?
definitely. I'm not reading
Yeah.
chat or anything.
No.
Contributing to the hype train that's going on.
We would love to know if you happen to have thoughts about it.
I have no idea.
It's okay.
No clue.
What
Feel
if,
free to give me a class.
what about just very generically? Are you a healer type or a warrior type or a mage type? Or
Probably mage.
Probably mage. Okay.
Magic
So
is always fun.
There we go. There we go.
So there you
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Harry Potter, got it.
Harry Potter. Yeah, exactly. Soybean Potter.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I mean, it'll. This is also like just to prep us for this coming day, whenever it might happen, to get an idea of who's who if we get to play at some point, because that'll be fun. If there's a story in line for that too, no pressure, Taylor.
I already written one up.
Okay.
He's already got it prepped.
I've already got the campaign written. Mike just needs to find 4 people.
Find the person.
Hey,
Find the
don't put
person.
it all on me. Everybody else can find other people too.
Yeah.
I'm
Jim,
willing
if
to
you-
do.
if
I'm
you know
willing. I'm
somebody-
willing to do 4 to 7. I don't even have. I prefer not 7, but if someone's like, man, I have to play, and we already have 6, I'm not gonna turn them down. But after that, I'm you're
Pulling the
being
plug.
rejected out.
Just
Yeah.
go up to 10 again. Make it a
No,
real challenge.
no. Because I'm
No.
definitely gonna stream it, and can you
No.
imagine an 11-person call?
That was quite the reaction.
Ugh.
He's like, no, I don't think I want to do that.
I'll never forget the turkey baster, and I think Andrew is the only person that's gonna know what I'm talking about. But
Oh God, turkey bastard.
Turkey based in the.
Want to know what you're talking
Interesting.
about there.
no one's ever gonna learn that story. There he is.
People got imaginations though. So.
Oh, he changed his name. Cool.
Multi first.
I almost total party wiped them for that.
Because of a
But-
turkey baster? Jeez.
Yep.
The lore behind a turkey baster, who knew?
Mm.
But yeah,
Uh,
D&D is fun. I hope we can find a fourth person to play so that Taylor can actually, DM for once
yeah.
on stream.
Well, we do need a mage.
Yeah.
Actually, we do need a mage because
Yes,
I
yeah, do
think
that
I am a better audience member than a player.
I mean, hey, we can learn together. I'm new to this too. So the argument that you have no idea what
I
you're
don't
doing
think I
is
could get
not
into that
valid.
role.
Fair enough.
I don't think I could get into that role very well. Like it's all really interesting, and I want to be that person that could, but I'm not. I know
You're like,
myself.
I can't. You're like, I can't even.
No, that's fine though. No pressure. It's just a fun idea.
It's funny you said no pressure because I have a no pressure hoodie on.
No pressure hoodie. No
Yeah.
pressure brand.
Logic hoodie.
Oh.
If you don't know who Logic is, he's a rapper.
Oh,
look him
okay.
up.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I would be the paladin. Probably because I feel like that's what I want to be, I guess, in a sense. So, but yeah, that's that. So I think are you guys cool with like a brief break right now? Just like a few minutes.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
fine.
I definitely need to take a short break, and then I'll be right back. But
It's your
Take this time to
podcast,
get a
bud.
glass of wine or some more tea or something.
yeah. Let's take a quick fiver, and then come on back, and then we'll be able to like get into like final things, and then start closing out too. But there's also a Q&A. I saw some questions on the Discord. Now with that too, it's like some of the questions, like if you don't want to answer it, don't. It's fine. It doesn't. It's cool. But
Okay.
there are some questions. We saw a lot of questions, or a lot of Big Bird questions. So he wants to know
A
things.
lot of big bird questions.
A lot of Big Bird questions popped up earlier today. So okay, I'll be right back. Maybe I'll play some random music for now.
Are
That'd be
they gonna
quick
hear
anyway.
us while we're on break or what?
I can mute. I'll just mute.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be
I'm
kind of
afraid-
awkward, but I'll just mute. All right.
It's a
Muting
fair
now. I'll be
question.
back. Okay.
Taylor will get you out.
Okay. Audio's back on.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I guess that's okay. I
Jeez.
think that's okay.
That was hilarious.
We were playing charades.
Oh shoot. Okay, I gotta rearrange this now. Let's see.
Well, as soon as you rearrange it, it's going to. She's gonna come back and it's gonna mess
Uh,
It's
it
gonna.
up.
No, she's
Yeah,
gonna.
it's gonna mess it up again.
She'll stay there because that fourth spot is always. Oh, never mind. I'm wrong.
Hi.
Nope.
See,
Now
Jim,
it's
Okay.
really weird.
All right, we're good. Hey, everybody get their drinks and stuff. You want to do some like brief advertisements? Groundworks Coffee. This is good stuff.
I use
Nobody?
Contigo
Nothing?
water
Yeah, I
bottles.
got
Contigo.
Yintigo.
some wine, and I'm
Contigo.
freezing, so that's what it is.
I need to make a Yintigo.
Sponsored by
Nice.
Coca-Cola.
I need a Yintigo.
Coke
command.
gaming.
Finally, I go.
Coke gaming.
Oh, God, that reminds me of that story that you said on stream one time, Jim. Back in elementary school.
Oh, that's okay to talk about. Yeah, it's okay to talk about.
That was an
Wait, which
interesting
one?
story.
What story?
How I accidentally did some certain Coke in 6th grade.
Did you actually?
Accidents happen. It was not under my own willpower to do so.
Explain.
I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple.
A hell of an accident.
I mean, think of it this way. Okay, this is a metaphor to this. You're sleeping with your. If you're sleeping laying down, and
There's a
you're
metaphor to this.
I'm bringing up so that people can understand that. Okay, it can apply in so many different ways. Now, if you're sleeping and then your mouth just happens to be wide open and somebody pours some cocaine or wine or whatever, okay, you just did it. You just did it without any control. Okay.
That's a bad metaphor, but okay.
I know it kind of is. Anyway, let's just switch to what actually happened.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 6th grade, last day of school. A friend of mine at the time. Unfortunately, we were not friends after that. But I think it's just being kids. It's just misunderstanding everything. But
Coke.
and then I accidentally did coke. So. No, it's like it was like the nicest guy. It's just unfortunately I wasn't ready for that sort of an experience, and I was such an innocent kid at that time, growing up from like a small town in the East Coast. So anyway, last day of school, somebody decides to bring some like a lunch bag of this white powder to school so to celebrate, and then so I'm just standing there breathing like a normal human being. Okay. Now somebody just puts up a bag. Here, try this. Right up to your nose. You just did it.
So you're telling me they just shoved it in your mouth and you inhaled?
Not in my mouth. No. It's just like right there in my face. So like it touched my nose or something. So that is how you do drugs by accident. That's all. It's a pretty straightforward story, but yes.
How'd you feel after that, though?
I feel like crap. I felt honestly. I felt very emotional, and I called a friend, and I guess I probably cried a little bit. But it was really more the shock of what had happened. Again, this is coming from like I grew up in the East Coast, a nice town. No gangs, no drugs that I knew of. And then moving to California, there's all this stuff. Okay, there's all this stuff so it was a shock. So 6th grade was, 5th grade. 5th grade was my first year in California. And so to me, that was like a culture shock in a way, because there's gangs everywhere. There's a lot of just stuff and a lot of language, a lot of Hollywood, I guess, too, in its own way. So, being that completely innocent and shy or timid at that age, when that happened, it was just a huge shock, and so I had like an emotional breakdown or something.
I just imagine you as a kid, you call your mom, they put some powder in front of me. I don't know. I'm feeling so weird.
I'm feeling weird right now. Can you help me? I wish I could have done that, but back then it's the language barrier between my own parents and myself was kind of difficult.
Really?
Difficult. Yeah, yeah. Growing up as an Asian American, born in the States, but still, it's like when you're growing up,
First
it's a
generation.
battle. Yeah, it's a battle between just speak a lot of English or just try to speak enough Chinese in the home. But
Right.
you know, it's enough to get by in the home to talk about basic stuff with family, with the parents anyway.
Right.
For survival, you know. Did you
Right.
eat? Did you sleep? Blah blah blah. And that's about it.
I need food. Give me food. Please give me food.
Yeah. And so imagine like, because I ended up working towards like the sciences or science related stuff. We're trying to speak science in a language that you don't have many words for and explain what's happening biologically or whatever with stuff. It's like practically impossible. Maybe Google Translate can do all that, but
I mean, it must have been like a caveman trying to explain why volcanoes explode. You can't do it.
explain to a caveman. That's a
Yeah,
good.
you're
That's a
just like
good.
you're just a cave. You're trying to speak in like the most elegant caveman language possible about why the damn volcano is exploding, and they don't understand because they're cavemen.
A
They just
caveman.
can't do it.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. They go down looking for explanations and then boom.
They're just like, oh, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
anyway, that was a random tale. Well,
So
Random's good.
one more question from it. I won't bring you too much back to it. Like,
okay.
how do you know it was good?
How do I know? I mean, it could have been like nothing.
Okay.
Honestly, it could have been like nothing, but no. Unfortunately, the person ended up in juvie. So
Oh no.
You're probably right. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not.
and if you're out there, I'm sorry that happened to you. But that was many years ago. So yeah. Speaking of stuff like that, I wanted to jump into the.
So
Oh, go ahead.
how's your language now?
Oh.
Like, do you speak anything other than English? Like, well.
I know a little bit of Spanish to understand. I took 3 years. I mean, I'm just answering the question. It's barely anything. Took 3 years of Spanish, and then I took the first or second year again in college, and my understanding of Spanish is like nothing. So it's pretty bad. I think it's like the hardest thing to try and write in a different language an essay. To make a full paragraph is really difficult unless you really practice in it.
Yeah.
And be immersed in it, like watching Spanish soap operas or something. I'm guessing it's the same for like learning Japanese, like watching a lot of anime. Maybe that would help. That would help a
It would
bunch.
help, but it wouldn't like actually teach practical conversation.
You
Oh,
can pick up
anime?
on stuff though. Like if you watch enough, like
Yeah.
there's patterns, of course, and so
Yeah.
it does help. But it's not something you should totally rely on to learn a language.
Exactly.
No, it's like you have to be. There's got to be something that forces you, or it helps to have something to force you. Like if you're just thrown into the middle of like some country that speaks only that one language, okay, your survival kicks in, and you just have to figure it out and
Yeah.
eventually learn. But yeah, in terms of the
You need that
family,
motivation.
yeah, I know enough. It's still just it's not Mandarin or Cantonese, but it's a specific language that not too many people speak in my family. So just enough to really get by. That's it. And then my parents, they speak enough broken English for them to get by with speaking with me. So that's about it though.
That must be a real unique like relationship dynamic with that language barrier though.
It is. There's a lot of like my mom always pushed me to learn Mandarin, and I was not a disciplined kid. It's like I quit piano after 3 weeks. I took kind of a year of Mandarin, but as in like middle school, and I was like, nope, I'm not feeling it. Oh, there's video games. I'm gonna go play video games or like watch cartoons on TV, and like especially with cartoons in the day back Like on TV, it's like, okay, there's a schedule. You're watching TV from like 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock because it's just a bunch of good
That's the
shows
block.
all the time. So that's the block of trying to do your homework, faking your homework, watching a bunch of DBZ
Yes.
or what's that Tim the Toolman show?
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement, stuff like that. You know,
Dream
the
makeover.
Extreme Makeover. I did not watch
Yo,
that.
Extreme Home
I
Makeover.
used
Is
Okay.
that a Canadian thing? No, it's not a Canadian
No, it's
thing.
not. I don't think it's just a Canadian thing.
Nah, it's not a Canadian thing though.
I used
What's
to
his
watch
face?
a ton of HGTV,
Oh yeah.
like an ungodly amount. Like I would come home from school and I'd be like, "Let's watch the guys cleaning the house and remaking it." My dad and my mom would be like, "Why?"
It's fascinating.
I was the
Now
opposite.
Oh yeah.
My mom is super into home improvement and building and woodworking and all of that. And so I've been exposed to HGTV for like my entire life, whether I wanted it or not.
Mhm.
But Extreme Home Makeover. Actually, I have a bit of a story about that. So what's his name? The main guy who's like a poster boy for it. What's his name?
Can't think of the name.
But do you know who I'm talking about?
The main guy.
Like the poster.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
We
He's
got
very
Google.
pretty.
Oh,
And
is
that's
that
kind
why
of
you
his whole
remember him? He's pretty.
No, okay, so here's the story.
Oh, this guy.
I worked, yeah, him. I worked in a used bookstore, not the past couple of years, but before that. And we came across a book, because we got all of our books from our clients, or sorry, buyers or whatever. Anyways, and it was just this picture book of him with like some home improvement tips, and it was labeled as a home improvement book.
Yeah.
But really, you would just have like spreads of him in, like without his shirt on.
Oh, what?
Oh God.
It was just so random.
Ty
It was
Pennington.
not a home improvement. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not a home improvement book at all.
I mean, it was an improvement.
Yeah.
For the home in a different way, perhaps.
Yes.
So did any of that, like being exposed to that, not that part, but the having HGTV, right? Being exposed to that, did you happen to like learn a lot of it too? Like you can use it
Kind
today?
of. I mean, my mom was also doing that as a job too, and I lived with her. My parents are divorced, and I lived with her since, I don't know, I've been 8 or something. But she was always painting. She did home improvement jobs. Like she's always been doing that.
Yeah.
And so it has rubbed off on me a little bit, but I did resist it for quite a while because it was always there.
Yeah.
So of course I didn't want any part of it for a while.
Yeah. It's always in your face.
But then you become an adult and it's all about the home.
Yeah.
Home improvement and such.
Mm-hmm.
Is your mom one of your greatest role models?
I'd say that.
I was trying to segue. You probably noticed that. I'm trying to
Don't tell
segue,
her I said
but it's
that,
like,
but,
oh, that's okay. Yeah, I wanted to.
kind of, but not my main one.
Okay.
Fair.
Who's the big one for you?
Probably one of my bosses actually.
Oh, why's that?
She's kind of the person I want to be in a sense. I mean, she definitely has flaws that I don't want to copy, but
Is she a magician?
what?
I guess she
No.
works in the circus, so
She's
she
an
kinda,
aerialist.
Oh,
She doesn't own the school, but it kind of runs by her.
I got you.
Anything that she says basically goes because she runs everything. I don't know. She's cool. I like her, and I aspire to be her.
I heard that.
Oh yeah, I'm cracking every bone in my body.
oh, there's like a little snap. Are you okay?
And that's the ASMR I want to see. Bone cracking stream.
No, you're reminding me of when
Okay,
Multi
okay,
scared
okay.
me a couple times on stream.
But it looks like you're about to like turn your head all the way.
That would just be the sweet embrace of death. No. I've had people like,
No
"Dude, you
longer
gonna
can.
break your neck?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna break my neck. I'm cracking it. Relax." But yeah, so just make sure I get all the cracks like out, cracks out of the side and stuff
All
to
the
ensure
crack
that.
Speaking of
out.
drugs,
Speaking of crack, speaking of crack,
Speaking of crack, here I am. No.
yeah. Was that? Well, it's kind of like I was just trying to get to this topic, but I wanted to know just because it's nice to know and hear these sort of things.
Mhm.
Do you have like particular role models yourself, Mike, that you
Yeah.
and are kind of maybe a vehicle for like keeping motivated for this next year or two?
Well, the thing with me, right, is from when it comes to role modeling, I've kind of looked at the bad examples and taken from the bad examples what I'm not supposed to do to make myself better. So when
Mm-hmm.
you say role model, I think of like my my parents, for example. They're not the best, and I take from them all the bad that they've done and try to do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of a traditional role model, not really. But like in terms of someone to look up to, it depends on what subject a lot of the time. I have people for every different subject or field that I want to look into.
Mm-hmm.
So for streaming, you're one of them for sure. Just the zen vibe you give off and the chill nature of your streams. I like that. And I always joke with people that you're the polar opposite of me, and it's true.
We kind of
Because most people,
are. We kind of are.
so there's definitely different people for different subjects, but at my core, I think I'm very like self-taught with a lot of things, especially
Mm-hmm.
with my like how I do things because being disabled, there's not a lot of like people to look up to for that kind of thing. You just kind of have to learn as you go. And
Mm-hmm.
so for a lot of the day-to-day stuff, I usually have to figure it out myself. So, just in general, I don't really have a lot of role models, just because a lot of the stuff I have to learn by myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And
But
like the fact that, well, I like that you're. It's cool that you're taking. It's like the opposite way.
yeah, the opposite. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
learning
like I
from all
look at
that.
the negative and extrapolate the positive from it, rather
Mm-hmm.
than try to find people that are positive and copy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so because of that, I've been able to kind of branch out and find my own personality through that, rather than try to copy someone else.
Yeah, no, that makes sense too. It's like maybe we like that's a good approach for everybody probably, just so you can get like
To
a
to
wider
some
picture, a
extent.
fuller picture.
I mean, to some extent, you obviously want someone to base off of, just so you have, things to connect to for that person or for that thing that you're trying to improve. You want to
Mm-hmm.
have a template to build off of, and so for people to have role models, it is important because it gives you a baseline to work off of. But it's not the end all be all if you don't have that initially with a lot of things in general. But
Yeah, that's
yeah.
okay.
Sorry, that's my stance on it anyway.
Oh no,
What
no,
about
makes
you?
that
sense.
makes
Like,
sense.
I
Yeah.
think we all do that in a sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we see something we don't like, so we want to do the opposite of it.
exactly.
I definitely do that with people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where my role modelage comes in. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna look at everything you do wrong and not do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like the polar opposite of role modeling. I'm sorry.
No, like it makes total sense though. Still,
Oh
um,
yeah,
I guess I wouldn't want to ask who is your anti-role model, but
that would be my dad for sure.
well,
My dad, for all of his shortcomings, was a very sweet man. He
uh,
just tended to drink a lot, and when you drink a lot, you become Jekyll and Mister Hyde. And so when he didn't drink, he was the sweetest, kindest man you could ever meet. Very smart, very intelligent, very knowledgeable. But when he
mhm,
drank, he became a belligerent asshole.
mhm,
And so, going off of that, you kind of learn what not to do from the negatives. And
yeah,
growing up, I just learned to extrapolate the good from people and leave out the bad,
yeah,
and try to build myself up around that.
yeah,
And because of that, I'm also able to look at myself and kind of be more reflective in that nature where I can say, okay, I'm bad at these things, but I'm also good at this stuff, and I can focus more on the good than the bad,
Hmm.
and kind of build out myself in a more positive manner, rather than be, oh, this is bad, I'm bad at this. It's all about how you look at it, honestly. So if you're able to look at it the positive and build on that and not focus on the negative, then you're doing something right.
Yeah,
At least
that's a good
that's what
point.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have any role models?
Uh, I tend not to point towards specific people. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
my boss, like if we're
Mm.
talking real life, my
Yeah.
boss definitely. Um, yeah, just the fact that you can go, like I could go to my boss, and I'm talking about. I mean, there's multiple bosses, but my one boss who I've had for 5 years now, best boss ever. Um,
Yeah.
the fact that I can go and talk about something like personal or something is
Mm-hmm.
wrong and just be honest about it and be supported is such a huge deal. To talk about
Mm.
anything like things like anxiety or oh, Mike, we lost you.
No, you're good.
Okay,
I'll fix it in a second. Don't
okay.
worry. Keep going.
Things depression, for example. I was able to talk about that openly, briefly, as well, but just the fact that I could do that, then I felt safer in just being able to go with my day to day because it's something that people with it deal with on a regular basis, and we all deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Thoughts of like suicidal thoughts. That's what I opened up about one time, like a few years ago. So I'm okay now, by the way. Like it's that's like news or whatever for some of you, but like some of us go through that phase, and it takes a long time to get through it and to heal through that. So, but being able
Mm-hmm.
to, just to be able to do that, and he's just the kindest person. Super super high pressure job that he has, but he maintains
Mm-hmm.
kindness, and that's what I love about him. Now, non in real life stuff. It sounds stupid, maybe, but King Arthur. King Arthur.
King Arthur,
Um,
really?
yeah, and it's because just a lot of the values within that, and that's partly an explanation for why I choose Paladin nowadays as my D&D class to make things a little sillier now.
Mm.
But yeah, anything about that because um, trying to do the right thing. It's like a reminder to try and do the right thing no matter the situation. And he himself,
Mm.
in all the lore and everything, had a lot of conflict with what was going on. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of different takes of the Arthurian legends. Sure,
Yeah.
a lot of it's dark, or a lot of it's just whimsical, comedic, even a lot of magic too.
Mm.
But I think a central theme through those stories was um, trying to do the best that you can with a given situation, save the people. There was a lot of selflessness in him too, but
Mm-hmm.
such conflict as well, where didn't always know what the right answer was. Um,
Mm.
and just a quick shout out to the Fate series, the anime series, Saber, who is represented by King Arthur. Anyway, but yeah, that's my that's my role models. Yeah. What about you,
So I
Taylor?
guess it's me now. I think if I were to choose a real life role model, um, I would definitely pick my parents. I'm gonna single out my mom this time. I like to alternate every time someone
Mm.
asks me this, just so that they both get equal credit to different people.
Mm,
Mm.
Um, she is just someone I see and I realize is absolutely, in the best way possible, unstoppable. She'll tell me about some problem she's got at work or something she's got to get through, and I'm like, that you can't fix that. And then a month later, it'll be over. It'll be better than she even thought she could do, and she'll have solved
Mm.
the problem in half the time that everyone else did. And just that
mm,
ability to problem solve and the ability to still like be a mom to two kids and be a great mom to two kids and just all the advice she has given me is absolutely something that in the future I'd want to be able to do for my kids. And I'd want to be on that problem-solving ability. I want to be able to apply in my life. And just the person she is, I try to emulate in every way I can. In a not real setting, and I guess in the more internet setting, streamer-wise, it's actually a guy by the name of Admiral Baru. He's a huge streamer, like top 20 on the platform. And he, and also later on then actually MBM, both are the reasons I started streaming. With him, I saw he has all the panda emotes. I don't know if you've ever seen me use the panda emotes in chat. Oh, here, I'll put, hold on.
Yeah, let's see some emotes.
Like these.
You like all these?
Right. All these little pandas. He inspired the penguins. So it was a big thing of where I saw the way he was streaming and playing games. I'm like, man, I kind of want to do that if nothing else, to have emote slot at first, right? To have emote slots to use my own emotes, and that'd be fun. I really like that.
Yeah.
And then with Andrew, I was going into work, and so I go to school at Drexel, and we have a weird system where we do 6 months of schooling and then 6 months of paid like work, where we go into the workforce, apply the jobs with a whole bunch of partnered like businesses, anything from Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and I was in corporate consulting as I think my official term was cost engineer. I wrote schedules and I explained to people why they couldn't finish things on time, and why they needed us to fix their scheduling for them, because there'd be all sorts of problems here or there. And in December, that winds down going into the new year, because everyone wants all their solutions before the new year's over. So you put out all your projects, and then no one gives you work until January. And so every day, this is when Angela and I were living together, I would go into work at 8:30. I would sit there on Reddit till 9, and no one had work to do. So we were all just browsing Reddit, sending each other articles, stuff like that. And then I would pick up my phone, and I'd start texting Andrew to wake him up and ask him to stream DBD for me. And I would just keep messaging him until he finally woke up and got on, and he started streaming Dead by Daylight. And so just finally he started doing it as well himself. And then I was able, from that, I was like, man, the streaming thing kind of seems like fun. Maybe I should do it. And so but then I was like, oh, but I don't want to do it because I want to get a better mic, or I want to do this, or I want to do this, or I want to do this first. And he just went, Taylor, stream. Just do it. I promise. You can just start. And that's how I kind of got started with that. But big role model there in actually getting me off my ass. So much appreciation to him.
Aw.
Yeah, like
That's sweet.
this is always a topic like I always love to get into, but I'm trying not to, because we do talk about it a lot in general, just like getting into streaming and what it was and what it meant and what it means for like going forward too. Just so much has happened. But we don't have to get into it. I mean, only if you guys want to. But
I mean, it's up to you. It's your podcast, bud.
It's it's just a shared conversation here. But I did want to ask though, because Taylor, I think you're a mod somewhere, right? For somebody.
Hello.
Okay, because I've seen the sword. I think I've seen the sword. Okay, so
I'm a terrible mod.
They're very terrible.
No. Let me finish that real quick before you go on. I'm sorry, but I'm awful at modding. So I ask people. People will be like, I've had a couple people ask, "Hey, do you want to mod for me?" And I will tell them no, because if you want to give me something, put the little diamond in my name. I'm happy with that. I'll be very honored, like truthfully. But I am a huge lurker. Okay, I lurk. And I will watch the stream. I messed up Andrew's request, so I did that too. But I will watch the stream. I got it like as loud as people in Discord call sometimes, right? Like I'll have a stream. It's not even the background at that point. and I'll be watching them, and I will be in my head reacting to everything and being like, oh, this is cool, I like this, and I'll make the occasional comment about something, but I don't chat. And
Yeah.
so I feel bad about that, in that I'm really awful then, because I might miss something going on in chat because I like to have the bigger window of
Oh, you're
like
one
the
of
actual
those
video
people.
playing. Yeah, I am. I closed the chat, so I can't really mod it.
One of
Which
those.
is
That
yeah.
makes sense. It's hard to
So
sacrifice that
yeah.
just
So
for some
I'm
especially
the
windows.
because
opposite. I feel guilty if I'm not active in a chat.
really,
It's weird.
But Taylor
Yeah,
does
yeah.
feel guilty. It's just he can't help
huh?
himself. You're saying you do
Yeah.
feel a little guilty, but
Oh
you
I
just
yeah.
guess
can't
I have
help
more
yourself.
motivation.
But yeah. Oh, there you
Uh,
go. But and real quick, I can show you. But the way my computer's set up is, I can actually move my camera here in a sec. The stream is in basically the top left, right? And
Mm.
so the actual window I see is much smaller than like a full computer screen. So that screen real estate is very nice, and chat is not resizable.
Yeah.
So it can be, I don't know, tough to give up that extra. Those extra pixels.
Extra pixel real estate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, it's interesting to hear that because just insight on from that perspective. Like I'm a mod
Mhm.
too for a couple channels, but I still
Mhm.
feel fairly new to it. But it's like okay, definitely what you're looking at is different, and it's hard to give up that because you're also a viewer. Like we all started as viewers, really, and that's always a
Yeah.
part of us. And it's like okay, to be a mod, it's like okay, fine, we got to squeeze the screen down just so we have all these options available in case something happens, which
Yeah.
rarely happens. Like it's infrequent for some disaster to happen, but it's exciting too. Once that bot comes in and you just like cancel them out.
Oh God. So,
Oh, sorry. I'm
No, it's
sorry.
fine.
The way,
I figured.
yeah.
Wait, was it something I said?
Not something
Or
you said.
somebody.
It reminded me of
Oh,
something.
I
okay.
think
I'll
we both
get
thought
you
about it.
finish. You finish. I'll get into it later.
Okay.
Oh God.
I think I finished. I didn't even remember. Just
Okay. So,
what
so
happened
I mean,
though?
so building on what you said, it's very rare I've ever had to even time people out.
I know where this is
Oh,
going.
okay. Is this okay?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's the story. That's
Yeah,
why
this is a
I
good
laughed.
story.
So,
We can hear this one. This is
do you want to
funny.
hear? Okay, I'll tell it.
Sure. Yeah.
I love this
Tell
story.
the audience.
Love the
The
story.
audience. So I've timed out in. I played DBD when I first started streaming, and that's the last time I played Dead by Daylight. But I've timed one guy out because he was so toxic in my chat to me that I said, take a 10-minute break and realize you're just playing a game, right? Like this is just a game. You lost. Why are you being like this? Win the next one, right? Um,
Oh.
so I didn't ban him. I was like, if you want to come back afterwards, you've cleared your head, you have 10 minutes where you can't just sit there and mouth off to me, come back. Otherwise, bye, right? I banned 2 people. One guy was racist. That was an easy one, right? That was really easy. The other guy came into the stream, and I don't know why, I didn't put together that the word furzy meant furry Nazi. Like, it took me way too long to figure that out. I mean, I guess that makes sense if you guys know me. I can't read. So,
Yeah.
but he kind of was being a little weird, like role-playing in my chat a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of ignore it, pretend it's not real. And then when he finally talked about resurrecting the fourth furry Reich, I was like, you're gone. You're gone.
Yeah.
I can't condone this.
Yeah. Your pause though is like really good.
Oh yeah, it's
Just-
on YouTube.
It's
like
on YouTube, by the way.
Was it part
Plug.
7? I can
Part
plug it real
7.
fast. But part 7 of Valkyria Chronicles 4 playthrough, it pops up. I was in the middle of a sentence and I started like talking, and then I started reading his line, and then I stopped. And
then you're like,
and the whole video goes silent for like 10 seconds, and I go, you're gone, and I ban him. But yeah, that was a lot
It's
of
like,
fun.
I'm sorry,
But not
that's
fun
not what
at the
I'm
same
all
time.
about. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm not all about that. Bye.
I'm not about that.
Sorry, but like I'm not about that, man.
You know what's crazy? If you go back to the first episode, that's when I met Taylor.
Yeah.
Literally.
March 9th, I think, something
Yep.
like that.
March 9th of what, 2019? 2020?
20.
Yeah.
Because it was
God,
like
it's been...
because halfway through the Valkyria Chronicles playthrough, I moved home for COVID.
Yep, there we
So
go.
it was then.
Yeah. God, that's so long ago.
Yeah.
Jesus. 10 months? Roughly?
Something like
Ballpark? I
that.
don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, nah, furry Nazi guy. Ugh.
Have you ever had to
That was
ban
the-
someone, Jimmo? I'm genuinely curious.
Oh, like real
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. I checked like this morning actually. I was like just because I was doing other settings stuff, and I took a look. It's just 4 bots, and I think somebody I accidentally gifted a sub to a bot because it looked like a bunch of characters. So like
Oh.
a while ago, darn it, they got me. They're there, and I don't know. I don't know if they said anything though. They're just there. But I haven't
Actually,
been
I
watching.
remember there was one person. There was one person I banned. He was just kind of weird. And, like, there was nothing wrong with me. It's just the way he interacted was very uncomfortable. So I was like, I'm just going to wait till I'm off stream and then ban him. And that's what I did. Because he just made me uncomfortable.
Why not?
And I
Your
think he was
stream.
also on Taylor's stream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I banned. If this is the
You
guy I think
remember
of, I
that
would ban
guy?
him because he said a few naughty words. So I was like, that was the quickest ban of my life.
Yeah. That guy was...
Yeah, I got a high tolerance limit,
Otherwise,
but don't be racist. It's a
Yeah.
simple one. Some people can't follow it.
pretty much. It's just like, oh, you said that thing? Nope.
Yeah, maintaining that. So it's like that's what being a mod is all about. protecting the castle.
The law of the land, yes.
Yeah, law of the
You
land.
just gotta keep people from doing things they're not supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, what's the one thing you guys love the most about just being a mod?
Banning bots.
The
easy.
power.
Power. Banning bots.
Get unmodded. The power,
I'm gonna be
nope.
honest here. I like the power. I'm not a streamer. I can't stream, so mod is the closest thing.
I suppose for you that is like the highest level of
It is.
power. But I don't know, for me
Supporting
it's just like
too,
banning the
but
bots.
You're a
That
good
was great.
supporter. You're a great supporter, Soybean. And you use the power well.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right.
Other times you can, time me out.
Yeah, it's
I'll
fun.
time you out again if you want me to.
Oh God, no.
I have the power here.
I mean, I can time you out, but I'm not going to.
Oh man, more of the mods.
Yeah, like I don't know. Wasn't there? I feel like it was on your stream, either your Taylor or Big Bird's, but like everybody that was on at one point they were all mods. It was just everybody
So
had the
I
power,
have
except for me.
I have 3 people. No, Mike. I have 4 people modded right now that regularly come out, and that's Soybean's one of them. Clone Trooper's the other, much to the dismay of Soybean. Mike is the other one, and then Yogurt's the last. And those are my 4 like main mods I have.
Wait,
And
you're forgetting Josu.
Josu's a mod. Josu is a mod. Yes.
This is a mod,
I just
He's
make
definitely
Josu
a mod.
Yes, I forgot. Yes, there's no way.
You
we would
forgot.
have-
How can you forget that?
don't see
Because
Joseph
you
much.
know, sometimes you just see another cursed image pop up, and you just forget that you gave him the power to do this. No, I love Josu. He's absolutely amazing. He is such a character, and just it's great. He's a pleasure to have in the server. So, although sometimes I check out that cursed images channel, and I really question my choices.
It's also my fault for inviting Frost into the whole array.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I also love his stuff. He's great, but those two play off each other a little too well.
Yeah.
Oh God! And then you've got that other room that's like beyond cursed. And that's...
Whoa,
Is
whoa,
there-
it's
is
a
there one?
secret. That's a secret.
Okay, I didn't know about that one. It's like, oh,
You have to earn your way into it. And I'm not going to tell you how you earn your way in, but once it happens, you get you get a role, you get put into it, and
huh.
there's 3 people in there right now besides the mods.
Only 3 people
Actually,
have made it through.
I think I'm the only one in there besides you.
Yeah,
That's
no, not
amazing.
even the mods are in that because
Yeah, I'm
otherwise
not
Soybean
in.
would have seen it. So
Yeah.
I have Mike as my other backup mod for that one, but like the people in it are all very like deeply rooted like in the community, so like I have nothing really to worry about there, right? Like I don't really need anyone to mod it, but I have it just in case because when you create a double beyond cursed images, so soul damningly cursed, I believe it's called.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think there's
it's
only
a lot.
yeah.
You got us all
They're very
curious.
strange. Oh yeah, no, they.
To
I
kind
think
of get
it's Frost, Josu, and Roller. So,
Okay.
I'll let you.
I
I'll
was
just say
wondering if
that
Frost was going to be in it or not.
he was. Yep.
Mhm.
There better be some not safe for life images. Yeah. Yeah, there's some in there.
Not safe for life.
I think there's only been one image I deleted beyond cursed images, and it wasn't even like it was bad. If I saw it again, I knew I was just gonna be like uncomfortable for the rest of the week, so I had to get rid of it. I was like, I don't want anyone else to see this. Don't
Wow.
even remember who posted it. Like I didn't even. I just typed, guys, please, and
Too
that
far.
was it. Like I didn't even like reprimand, no warnings or anything. I didn't ban anybody, but
Yeah.
it
Do you
was-
have a secret triple beyond cursed?
You'd have to find out.
You gotta get to the second level before you can get to the third or the fourth.
Yeah, I don't have really any secret channels in the Antarctica. That's the only one, but not really secret anymore. I'll have to make a new one now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. The planes of judgment are about to be full.
Oh God.
But
Are you guys ready for some Q&A at this point?
sure, let me get a
Excited
soda. I'll be
for
right
it.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a soda.
Q&A is always an interesting thing.
Yeah, you never
You
know
never
what's
know
gonna
what you're
happen.
get. Yeah.
So and I'm just pulling from the Discord. Anybody in the chat right now, feel free to type if you have questions you want to ask. Go ahead, but to make it easier to locate, start with Q&A : and then type your question out. But I'm going to be reading these out first from the Discord, and I'll kind of try to keep track. But there's already
You could
one here.
also post in the Discord as well. I just posted the link.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier if you guys have questions.
Try and keep it in one place.
Yeah,
What
that helps.
a good mod.
I know, right?
Right?
Just keeping it together.
I'm so good with my power.
Keeping it together.
I am a... Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Big Bird has a lot of questions.
he does.
Okay, I'm gonna skim
Well,
through
I'm
these.
glad.
Yin already said something inappropriate. Well, it's not exactly inappropriate.
I mean,
But-
it's yin. That's what you expect.
We'll see how I feel about it in a little bit. Okay, I'm just going through. Okay, I like this first question from Big Bird. Something one of the other podcast guests have that you would love to have and incorporate into your stream and or everyday life. It could be
Easy.
physical items, personality quotes, etc. Easy.
Oh, that's easy.
Easy. Your computer setups. I mean, come on.
Okay,
Well, yeah, that's an easy choice
That's
for you. For me, it'd be the penguin outfit. I love that thing.
that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It's a full-on onesie, right?
Just go out.
It's fleece. Do you understand how hot it is to stream in this thing?
Yeah. And you've done it several times now.
Yup. I have a fan directly blowing air onto me or behind my chair, and then I have my overhead fan turned on. Even my AC on to fan mode, and it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So funny.
Before you went,
30 degrees means different things because I'm Celsius.
Fahrenheit. Sorry.
oh,
Freedom units.
that's accurate. That's fair.
30 would be very warm in Celsius.
Oh yeah.
Be very warm.
Metro Police and 30 Celsius.
I
God,
don't even
no.
want to believe that.
Jesus.
Taylor, like, so you used to not even do webcam. Were you always wearing the penguin suit?
Oh God, no.
Okay. I was curious because that's a lot of streams you did.
Yeah, so I wear it's very my stream outfit's very easy. Do it at home, okay? It is plaid fleece pants, a band t-shirt or a Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt, and a flannel.
Hmm.
And last but not least, the most important part, a Nightmare Before Christmas blanket.
Mm.
And that is how I stream.
Okay.
When I turn the camera on, I usually put on the penguin
Yeah, that's been a bunch of
onesie,
times.
just because it's kind of a
Thematic.
character. So yeah, it's thematic. So it's a
Oh
gimmick.
yeah, you have a character behind the computer screen, don't you? Isn't he like up there?
Oh, Spencer.
Yes, Spencer, the
Ah,
penguin.
always nice to
The
have a
inspiration.
People
Plush
don't
hero.
often get to see Spencer, so I figured I'd remember him.
Oh, I should also show off. 1 second.
Oh God, here we go.
Cool.
Boggle made me for Christmas three of our. So we have Yike,
Oh,
Oh, that's so cute.
Love, and Snack. So
Those are
they
cool.
sit in my
I like
fridge.
those.
inside your. That's cool. Or how about your freezer? Maybe you could put it in your freezer.
Yes, freeze.
I don't have a freezer in my fridge in my room that contains
Oh,
pizza,
okay.
beer, and soda.
Yeah,
So
The essentials.
the
yeah, the
essentials.
essentials. And then if I need like actual food, I go downstairs.
Fair enough.
Now, what could I borrow from you guys? I'd say better transitions in music and like a starting screen that's not just the basic screen.
I know you could just go to a website for that, like I did.
Oh, I know. But I mean, like whatever I chose when I first started streaming, I looked at almost every single one just to find what resonated, what clicked, and
Yeah.
so I chose whatever I chose. But I want to like personalize it in this. Like Taylor's got all the penguins everywhere, or Mike, I know you borrowed Multi's song for a while. I don't know if you still use it.
I
But,
still use it. I use it on my BRB screens, but I haven't done a lot of BRBs lately.
Okay, you're just there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always with me. Never leaves.
Yeah, but yeah, just to bring in like some extra better touch, I'd like to improve my overall because I kind of ignore it because it's just like I don't know, it's just the time that you put into it, like trying to make time all
Like,
that matters.
to be fair, like a lot of the it's like very minimal to the overall streaming experience. So I can see why it wouldn't be like a top priority.
Mhm.
But it is something I think you do want to improve on and personalize as you go along.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
What about you, Taylor?
Oh boy. I just well, the first thing, it's a physical item. I want that saber figure that Jimmo has.
with this
It
one?
looks great.
Oh, this
Yeah, the one in the back. Yeah, the back here. Yeah, it looks great.
I got that by accident. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know
right.
it was that big, and I freaked
Oh.
out and I put it away right away. I didn't want anybody to see it. And
No, that's great. That's great.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, the only figurine I had, I got by accident too. Opened a mystery box, and it was a giant, like, really sexualized CC from Code Geass. I had to go home first, like, before
said I had to
back
go home.
Philly.
Oh, no.
And so I was taking everything back, and on the way home, I'm like, how do I explain to my parents why I have this figurine now?
You don't.
So instead of explaining it, I hid it in the bottom part of my suitcase and never opened my suitcase back up. So
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
opened a mystery box, but yeah.
There was a time I had to move back home for a little bit because my whatever original apartment I was at, condo, the water damage, so I had to move back home for like 2 months. That's when this arrived, and it's a huge box, and it's like, you know, the kids are there and stuff. It's like, okay, I'm just putting it away. I'll open it up like at night just to take a look, put it back, and then it's hidden in the closet. I just don't want to. I don't want to introduce any weird stuff like that. I mean, it's just cool. They're just like collectibles. Really, that's why we have it. Yeah. Let's see. There was a good thing here. Good question. Another good question from Big Bird. Wow.
He has a lot of questions. We're going to be here for a while if we keep taking the time that we're taking for these questions.
Yeah, I'm skipping some of them, but I'm taking like the best ones I can see. So things you've learned or appreciated after streaming or being exposed to streaming. Something new. What was new and really cool that you picked up on because of all of this? Streaming or being involved with streaming.
I got it. Being able to talk to people and random people.
There you go.
Oh, that was so
Across the
difficult.
board.
God, talking in general is hard, and then when you have to do it on a daily basis, God.
It was for me. It's like whenever I meet someone and I actually get to know them a little bit, then it's easy. Then I can sit there and talk and talk and talk. I love the sound of my own voice. So the problem is that initial little introduction. I'm dead silent. So I'll meet 8 new people and I'll say 4 words over 2 hours because I'm just like I don't know you.
You're just like,
I don't know
hi.
what to say. I don't know what to do.
Hello.
And I think with streaming, it's definitely helped me speak, if that makes sense, and just kind of talk and discuss.
Yeah.
And it really kind of teaches you how to do that. So definitely that.
Across the board, I think that's a key thing. At least for me, it was. Because I was like, strangers looking at me. Ew, hi, person. Now I'm just like, oh, hey, hi, how you doing? What's up? Yeah, I'm playing this game. How you doing? But in the beginning, it was complete nerves. I was like, I don't know you, but hello.
Yeah. Hi. And it takes a while to get into that groove and figure out where we're landing.
There's a definite rhythm to it all, I think, for sure, as you go along.
Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
I forgot what the question was.
Says the question asker.
Oh, things we've learned. Oh, okay. I mean, all of that definitely, because we all went through that. But besides the creativity part, or just random ideas, it's like
the learning of it.
I'd say it's when I saw somebody doing a furniture stream. If I didn't see that, I would have done my own vacuuming and table building thing. But just doing it and just going for it, even some of this is just random stuff. It's actually fun once you get into it, or you realize whether or not you like it. And so I think just being inspired by other people out there doing these things that are not just video games, because that's the obvious part. That's easy to do. Okay,
that's what Twitch is made upon. It's like a video game. Boop.
Yeah. But to see the other stuff and see what people are willing to do, or learning from them how they do it, because I learned from someone else, watching somebody else do podcasting, to be able to do this. So that was the greatest thing for being able to do this. And how she goes about it. It's like, I'm not doing it formulaically or anything, but it's like, okay, I see what it looks like. I think I'll try to do it. So that's what I'm very thankful for, and what I can, one of the big things I can take from it.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things you can get inspiration from, and then you're like, I see the basic layout of this, and I think I can try to pull that off. Streaming, that's just streaming in general. With everything, it's like, oh, I see that, I like that, I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, and all you need is just the basic structure, and then the rest is just do what you want to do, or do what you think is cool or smart,
or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah. Now, Soybean, your perspective is different with this question.
It is.
So.
Well, and I've thought this kind of since day one. The really cool thing about Twitch and streaming and chat and everything is that we all have very different lifestyles, I think. Except we're still coming together and talking, and we likely wouldn't have met otherwise. And not just because we live in completely different places, but just also lifestyles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys, even if you guys lived where I am, I probably wouldn't have met you.
I just have to
Um,
leave my house. So
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, or even without the whole COVID thing.
yeah, even
but-
without COVID.
Oh, you're still home anyway. Is that? Yeah, and it's fun.
Um,
It's like because I'm like
Yeah,
that
and
too.
then the other thing is all the projects and really cool interactions that have happened because of streaming and because I've been active in chat. Like, and I mentioned it before, like all the different things, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, it's just been cool and not something I expected at all when I came here.
yeah,
No, not
So.
at all.
yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up. Just that element of we wouldn't have met each other even if you lived like next door.
Not at all.
Literally, like, because me, it's like
Not
I
at
don't
all.
really talk to the neighbors. That's how I am. Like I'm cordial, sure, but
Yeah,
not necessarily seeking out to like, hey, let's do a board game night, or let's hang out, blah blah blah. They're also like in their
it's all
60s
very
or
like
whatever.
happenstance how we all met each other. Honestly,
Yeah,
like we all met each other by pure coincidences.
It's always weird thinking about how like a new person comes into the fold because, I mean, Jimmo, with you, I was done playing Darkest Dungeon for the night, right?
yeah.
If I recall this correct, and I
And
was
I just
going
got
like,
chills
okay,
now
let's-
because I'm remembering.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, let's find someone to raid with the 6 people that are here or whatever, right? Like, let's pass these guys off. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I clicked through like 3 or 4 streams, and like it was like, no, I don't know, no. I opened up
no.
yours, and I saw you playing. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Raid you, and then I remember you came back into my stream like the next day, and I had like forgotten. Sorry, I had forgotten. I was like,
and that's
Jimmo-
fine too.
Jimocchio. Okay, I wonder who this is. I remember you asking me. It was like, what was that question? It was something about Taylor Swift. If I like Taylor Swift or something
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the T Swizzle.
You get that a lot,
And
right?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it a ton, and it's completely different than what I listen to. It's funny.
I'm a fan, by the way. So
No problem with that. But
Yeah,
yeah, so it's like stuff like that. Or I was playing Valkyria Chronicles 4, and then Mike showed up. Or in the middle of Tales of Berseria, I think, is when Soybean came in for the first time, and it's later on you get to hear about like how they found you, and it's always just it's not weird, but it's like the other side of that story, and it's cool, I guess.
dude, like I legitimately looked up my game. I wasn't even trying to look up Valkyria Chronicles 4, and your like the next game came up because nobody was playing my game. I was like, well, I guess I'll go talk to this guy, and then it was between you and another person, and the other guy was speaking German. I was like, well, fuck that guy. Then I clicked on you, and I was like, oh, he speaks English. And then I was like, oh, he's on the East Coast too. Perfect.
yeah, the requirements.
And then it just
At least the English part.
snowballed from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is crazy how we all met. Like,
Yeah.
Either as mods or as streamers or just raiding people. You know, it just snowballs, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I am tearing up a little bit because it really is like it. Like I didn't meet you three, and I met you three pretty much through that. Maybe not right away, but
Yeah.
like it's like okay, within a week later, it's like getting that, like seeing that you're there and existing, and
Oh god, that reminds me when I first met you. I like messaged you and you got freaked the hell out.
oh, I like to bring that up. Yeah, that was a direct message. No, that was like within a couple weeks or something, and you wanted to chat, and I'm like, I'm not there yet. It's a little early. It's a little early. Like the wall is okay. The wall is there, and then like right then it's crazy how rapidly it's different now, and I don't really view that as like such a big deal anymore.
You killed it.
Losing
with
it.
that.
No, but yeah, I pretty much said, Mike, not right now. It was like a no for now. Let me just sit on
Give
this.
me a minute.
But it's cool. It's cool, like because to put yourself out there, or whatever. Or, like to you, it's not a big deal. To me, it was
I'm
a
an
big
open
deal
book.
because
I was an open book because I'm just like, hey, I'm me. What's up?
yeah,
You're just like, I'm not ready for that. That's not who I am. Sorry. And I'm like, okay, it's cool. We can talk.
yeah. but like a week later, I think.
Yeah,
I was like,
literally
okay,
a week
okay.
later, you're like, you know what? I'll take you up on that. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, give it a chance. Give it a go.
But I thought that shit was hilarious.
Did I hurt you? Did I hurt you there?
No, I
Okay.
just thought it was hilarious. I'm like, oh, you didn't even talk to me yet. Shit.
It was quick. You gotta take.
Yeah, no, I'm just a very open person, so it doesn't come to me that, oh, this person's probably not about it. I'm just so straightforward about it. I don't even notice it
Yeah, that was.
until like after the fact. I'm like, oh, I made you nervous. My bad.
Yeah. No,
It was fun. Like
it's
those little things are the things that I find funny because I can look back on it and be like, now look at us.
yeah, exactly. There's so much that we've all done or accomplished.
Yeah. Evolved even.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm glad that like for whoever out there who's brand new to this stuff, or if you're watching it, I don't know, but like brand new to Twitch or brand new to just like being able to interact pretty live or whatever with the streamer or with people in the chat. It's there's so much there that can be a good thing. It's okay to be cautious, sure, but don't be afraid to try it out and just like explore a little bit, because I think we've like we're all super lucky. We're super fortunate to have met each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What is that emote? Good lord.
It looks like you're taking a bubble bath, and scrubbing your back.
Oh well.
Ooh, will.
Oh god.
Please don't do that again.
Noted. I'm making a redeem bother soybean command. Thank
My
you.
ears was like, oh god.
Okay, this is
It's a paddle.
so this is just a random interesting question from Multi.
Yeah, what's up?
It's just like left field. Which streamers do you think you could beat in hand-to-hand combat?
Mike.
Easy choice.
Hey, yeah, but we don't know what Mike is capable of.
Easy question.
Actually, I don't even know what to say
Everybody
to
picks the
this
cripple.
one. I'm not sure.
All right, besides the cripple, who else?
Probably no one.
So for me,
Oh, you got
I
you know
am
this.
very competitive. I don't know this. I'm very
Yeah, I was gonna
competitive,
say yin.
but I'm not good at fighting or hand to hand or anything like that. So I have no idea what would happen. But I'm very competitive, so it
Which
might come out.
so would you beat Clone in a fight?
I would certainly try.
Yo, you gotta get the Jake Paul
Battle time.
KSI thing going. Yeah.
Oh god, clone versus soybean.
Soybean versus clone.
Clash of the genders.
Maybe so. I don't even have an answer. So move along. So Melvin has a question for us. Best book you've read? That might be
The
The
best book.
Bulgarian.
Ariad.
It's a series of 12 books.
Mhm.
I know that's kind of cheating, but it's like saying one of the Lord of the Rings books. You can't just choose one.
Fair enough.
We could.
It's
we
called.
could.
Well, you could, and it'd be Return of the King.
Two
but-
Towers.
Oh.
I'm with you, Jim.
Two Towers.
Um,
It's so good.
Two Towers is a very good book. That would be my second choice, but I still think Return of the King is best.
Movie put me to
But-
sleep. Anyway.
The ending is way too long, but and it's not the true. I'll get into that in a second. They cut out half the book, but the book series, the Bulgarian, is it's 5 books in the Bulgarian, and then there's the Molorian, which is another 5 books, which is like a sequel to that first series 20 years later. And then there's 2 other almost spin-off books by the same author about 2 of the wizards that lived in the fantasy world that have been alive from the beginning of time, basically, up until the events of the story. and it just is. It's a fantasy novel about this guy who lives on a farm, and he basically learns that he's actually the king of the entire eastern continent of the two continents, and he now needs to track down and kill a god that's on the western continent. And
Okay.
then the second series of books kind of follows. The second series, saying anything is almost like spoiling the first one and the second one, but it follows him 20 years later trying to deal with the ramifications of what he did, and also keeping together all the kingdoms that are now under his authority. And it's just it's very, very good. And I don't think I've ever read a series of books faster than I read those and enjoyed them more. So
That's how you know it's super good. You're just flying through it.
Keep
Oh, yeah.
reading.
Yeah.
It was like that with Tom
Right.
Clancy's Rainbow Six. That was another good book I read recently. But
Oh.
a lot more.
He has a lot of books.
He does.
And he has
Not
a lot of
written by him.
ghostwriters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And video games.
True.
I almost thought you were gonna say the video game, and I was like, Taylor,
This is my
what
next
happened
one.
to you?
So.
Against all enemies.
Yep.
Mood.
As I mentioned, I worked in a used bookstore, so I know a lot of books. I haven't necessarily read them all, but I can definitely recommend other books.
Yeah.
Are you able to answer your favorite or one of your favorites?
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
One of them is called The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. It's a general fiction book, and I think I might have done it in an English class or something. I originally went to school for writing and publishing, so I've read a lot of those kinds of stuff. I don't even know really how to describe it, but it's from the perspective of a dog, which sounds really corny and cheesy, but it's really, really well written, and it's his owner is having all these difficulties with his family, and he's in a divorce, and it's all this really serious stuff from this perspective of a really old dog. So it's sad at the end because the dog does end up dying. But it's really, really well written. And it came at a time when my dog died. So I haven't read it since because I can't. But it was very, very good and very well written. And he has some other good books, but not as good.
Yeah. The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody's interested, go check that out.
You will be sad.
You will be sad, but you at least get the perspective of a dog.
But it's very good. Highly recommend.
Thanks for sharing. What about you, Mike? You got books in mind?
The entire time y'all have been talking about your books, I'm over here well, what book should I pick? Because I'm over here I've read a few, and the one book I always go to that I always recommend is a book called Supermarket by Bobby Hall. And it's a crime thriller about a guy who's a failed writer working at a supermarket who tries to get inspiration by working at the supermarket to write a crime fantasy novel. And as he's working there, slowly but surely things start to get a little more weird and crazy, and it just becomes this murder mystery thriller of a book completely out of left field. And by the end of the book, you're like, how did you get from working at a supermarket to complete craziness? And I recommend that book 110% to anybody that's interested.
I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Okay.
But yeah, that's my recommendation. Supermarket by Bobby Hall.
Supermarket.
Yeah.
I always have this little game where I try and figure out if I know either the author or the title, just as a pride thing now, because I worked at a bookstore for 2 years or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I guarantee you don't, because they only released one book.
There's
And
so
that's
many
it.
books.
So,
There's too many books.
but what about you, Jim?
Well, I'm gonna start with books that I haven't read or tried to, but haven't finished. Game of Thrones is probably probably one of the best. Okay, just a
Mm.
but so something I've actually read. Um, so the Sword of Truth series. First book is
Mm.
Wizard's First Rule. So it's fantasy.
Mm.
There's a good mix of adventure and like romance as well. I like
Mm.
that mix, I guess. So there is I don't remember. I just started reading it again a couple days ago, but I think the general story is there's this person who has the ability to seek out the truth. Like he has this intuition, and so but part of it is like there's magic that exists in a certain realm past the boundary,
Mm.
and
Mm.
but he has to go out in search of what the heck happened to his father. And
Mm.
but he meets a magical lady who has very special powers, very unique powers, called a confessor. Um, but there are multiple confessors. I guess she's the mother confessor, and but their power is like it's like they touch somebody and then they become under their control. So they have temporary use of like I guess mental control in a sense, but it also puts
Mm.
the confessor into immediate vulnerability. I think they collapse right then, but they're able to control the person to do their bidding for a limited amount of time. Um, but the mother confessor, the main character guy, they have a certain bond, but it's one of those stories where there's so many books and they wrote way too much. Like there's 10 plus books.
Mm.
I forget the author. Terry Goodkind.
Yeah.
Um,
I was about to say it.
thank you. And it's like I turned around and I couldn't even see the. It's all the way back there, but then I remembered. So it's one of those things where it's like okay, it's as if they're meant to be together, but at the end of every book, they're like pushed apart again. So the first three books are
Mm.
solid, fantastically written. I love it. But then after that, it's like, okay, it keeps just going on and on for a bit too long. But I think it's a fantastic book. Um, for
Mm.
anyone like who really loves good writing in fantasy, it sets the environment pretty good. Yeah,
And who's the last person we need?
I think that was everybody.
Yeah, okay. I was
um,
just making sure.
yeah, but mm, do you guys actively read too on like a
I
normal
used to.
basis?
I'm trying
Um,
to get back into reading. I haven't read a lot since after high school because I wasn't obligated to, but recently I found interest in reading again, so I'm trying to get into audiobooks
Yeah.
of just put myself out there again and try to find something interesting. Right
Hmm.
now I'm currently reading through Ready Player 1 so I can get Ready Player 2 since that just released and trying to see where my tastes lie right now. So if you got any
Yeah.
book recommendations, give me them. I'll be happy to read them.
I have like a bunch of fantasy books that I could
Hey,
recommend. I don't know. Is
that's a
that
good
here?
start.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's been my main genre for a long time. Uh, Rarely branched out.
Well, that's good. I'll give it a shot. Like I'm trying to get into it, so I'll take anything from any genre right now
Hmm.
till I know my preferences.
Yeah, so I'm personally trying to get back into reading as a healthy way to
Yeah.
like take a break from everything else. Because I think I have a habit of like going full force,
Hmm.
kind of. Uh, but I do that because I don't want to lose the motivation. Because if a couple of days go by and then if, something can just drop off and I didn't work on something I wanted to. But I'm trying to like just balance and do something relaxing and for myself now.
Yeah. That was my New Year's resolution for 2021. Funny enough, was
Hmm.
to be more consistent, but also find balance in the things that I'm doing, so I don't get burned out.
Hmm. Yeah, it's important to have that balance, and then I
For
think
sure.
I mean it's easy to like get kind of glued to the computer screen and stuff for a long time.
That's why I
Uh,
bought these glasses.
yeah, new glasses for everybody. By the way, Mike's got new
Yeah.
glasses since
I got
what 2 days
computer
ago.
glasses 2 days ago, yeah.
2 days ago.
I bought computer glasses because I was always staring at these screens and my eyes would hurt. And I was like, okay, there's a problem here. So I
Yeah.
looked into it and I was like, oh, I need blue light blocking glasses. So I bought these.
Oh, okay. I did notice a tinge. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
blue light blocking. That's why I bought them.
Nice.
Keep my eyes from straining as much.
Yeah.
And so far, so good.
Yeah.
Do you have the blue light filter on too on like your computer and stuff?
Yeah, yes, I have that on as well. I usually have to keep them both on to get like the full effect of not having any eye strain. If I just have one or the other, it doesn't do enough. I've found so far.
Yeah.
So are we? I guess we wait for Taylor. Or?
I kind of want to try to wait for Taylor.
I kind of figured that's what we were doing, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I don't really have much else for the rest of tonight.
Me either.
I think a good way to just close out though is what's going on the rest of this month or in February. Any insight into what to expect?
So much work in school.
You'll be focused on school.
I'm going to share this again because it's so funny. So one of my classes is system analysis and design. Hardest prof I'm going to have. Possibly a hard class, although after this first lecture that I watched, I don't think it'll be as hard as it appeared. But the acronym for it is literally SAD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fitting.
It's so funny because the prof is he's a real hard ass, and it's going to be fun.
Oh boy.
It's just very fitting.
Yeah, sounds like it. Jeez.
You're taking four classes, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought about doing a fifth actually, but I'm glad
Right.
I only did 4 this semester.
God, could you imagine doing 5? God.
Five's a lot.
Yeah. What about you, Jim? Got any plans for the rest of the month?
There is another podcast episode coming up next week with 3 completely separate streamers. That'll be coming up, and then I think I want to just see this chess tournament get started pretty soon.
Perfect.
Like I'm hoping to spend probably tomorrow to look at it and like, okay, who's actually in it? Can I map it out and start kind of providing some instructions on how to join and how we're going to actually do this and make it work, make it streamable, or put out a schedule that people can agree to, or at least like one by one. I think it's going to be difficult because
a bi-weekly thing. Yeah.
More often, I think bi-weekly will take forever. But I don't know. I'll have to just see what happens. Hey, welcome back. You good?
No, but
Okay.
here's the thing. Time keeps moving, so let's keep going.
Okay. But we're just putting some final thoughts to stuff.
All right. You're fine.
But
Sorry about that.
no, you're good. You're good. But yeah, it was generally like, okay, to close off, what's going to be expected for the next couple months, and just to let everybody know like what's coming up and what we're working on.
I mean, there are some fun projects that I will announce here and there.
Yeah.
Can't yet, but
Yeah.
it's coming.
Okay, we're super excited. The suspense is
Sit in
real.
anticipation.
Yeah. I've got a few things. Well, one's going to be longer streams at night. Since I've changed my schedule tonight, I can stream super long streams, and the last few streams I've done have been 5 hours or more, so those are definitely going to become a regular thing. I'm going to try to make my own podcast at some point. I've been saying with Taylor that he's going to be the first one I have on. That's still going to be the case. But,
Cool. Do you have an idea what your, I guess, theme sort of is?
It's going to be very similar, like very structure-wise, it's going to be very similar to how you do it, with like a few topics, but nothing structured. And then, like, I was thinking about like, being as it's going to be like a one-on-one thing, obviously we're going to be talking about more generalized things outside of Twitch, not just Twitch streaming. I mean, obviously we're going to have our introductions, our plugs, all that, but we're going to be also talking about like the world in general, the news, the current state of the world, and our philosophies on things. go a little bit more in depth into that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be where it's gonna be more like a talk show than a podcast, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
But I use podcast as a generalized term, pretty much.
Yeah, me
But
too. Yep.
and then outside of that, I also just want to get more into what I'm already into, which is editing. I've been doing a lot of that. I also tried to do one editing stream. It was working good until I couldn't get it to edit anymore.
Oh,
But I might bring that back. Do editing streams, more just chatting streams.
yeah,
I love just chatting streams. Those are fun
yeah.
because they go places. But
That's your calling. Yeah.
you always tell me that, and I'm starting to believe it.
Good,
But
good. Seriously,
yeah,
I'm glad you're gonna start up a podcast.
yeah.
Because yeah,
Like
you're
obviously
gonna be able to
scheduling's gonna be
drive.
the main thing.
Have you thought up a name?
You think? Work in progress to be
Okay.
announced.
Okay, to be announced. No spoilers right now.
Yeah, to be announced. But no, in general, I think that that's going to be my plan, just in general for the next year.
Mm,
Now that I've finally found a, you know, consistent schedule that works for me at the moment, I'm
mm,
definitely going to ramp up streaming a lot more than I did last year, and just kind of take it where I want to take it.
mm,
Because last year I kind of felt like this weird sense of obligation to finish any game that I started, and I
mm.
don't have to do that anymore. So
Yeah, you're
I'm
free
just
of
not.
that. You're free.
Yeah.
You've always
So
been
I'm just
free.
gonna. Yeah, exactly. It's just you get into that mind state or that routine of okay, finish game. I'm a gamer, so
Hmm.
you kind of have to learn to let that go at some point and keep your own individuality and not just focus on the game as much.
Yeah, and what
So
we always say is like most people are there coming to be with the crowd or be with the people they've gotten to know or the streamers they
exactly,
love, and it's not.
that's the hope, right? You want them to come not just for the game, but more so for you as the individual. Those are the people you want to keep around. So that's the kind of thing I'm going to be working towards for
Mhm.
sure.
Cool. Looking forward to
But after that,
seeing all your stuff come unravel.
oh, me too, man. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited.
Hmm.
Uh,
Great.
what about you, Taylor?
Oh boy. In general, or streaming stuff, or for what?
Both, either
Both.
or,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
It
first,
always
first.
comes back to Twitch, so
Oh, I
just start
well,
without and it'll
we'll
come
start
back.
without.
We
We'll
all
start
are
without.
all here, so.
Yeah.
I definitely think high on my priority list is kind of trying to come back and figure out, and this sounds so weird, cheesy, but like define myself to me.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on in my head, kind of work a lot of
Mhm.
the issues that I got going on right now, and kind of being able to get through that
Yeah.
and then present the best of myself I can to others. And I think doing that is the first thing I need to do before I'm truly happy with the streams I put out. I
Mm.
think that's going to be the most key important part because,
Yeah.
again, I truly believe my two best streams were both 8 months ago. So
Mm.
it's and now don't get me wrong, I love all the streams I do. I put my heart and soul in all of them. But out of the stuff I've rewatched, there was a specific episode of Valkyria Chronicles 4 and just the entirety of the Nier playthrough, which doesn't
Mm.
exist anymore. It was a seal of secret for whoever was there.
Mm.
But
The one series I don't have.
yeah, were my best streams. And I think a lot of my problem has been just issues I've been having personally that I'm not going to go into. Who likes to hear about that stuff?
Right.
But figuring that out and then bringing myself back to Twitch. I'm still going to be streaming, obviously, but I have a few new ideas to go along with this. For example, something I'm very excited for is my shiny hunting for a Piplup.
Nice. Yeah.
Because you
Good
know
luck.
it's going to be 4 or 5 streams of me resetting the damn game.
Mm. Mhm.
At least.
After Fennekin on the stupid DS.
Fennekin.
Oh, that drove me up a wall. But like for example, that more Monster Hunter speedruns. I'd love to do more Monster Hunter speedruns. I love those. I think they're hilarious. And one day they'll accept my submission. One day.
What's the holdup though? Like,
I don't know. The mods just aren't doing it. And I'd be upset, but the mods both stream, or at least the main one does, and he's really, really nice. Like, he's a sweetheart, and I love him. So, like, I don't want to even, like, say anything mean or be like, hey, I just take your time. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Really good guy. But more of those. I have a couple more fun challenges after Puppy Chef Academy, left hand only, no gravity.
I'm
Wait,
so
what?
excited
Oh,
for that.
left
It's
hand
gonna be
only, no
Seven
great.
gravity. Oh,
follows.
settings.
7 follows.
I thought that
Yeah,
was the
that's
best
just gonna
stream
be
ever. The one I came into.
that's
Oh
gonna be
my
my
god.
challenge.
That,
That
But
stream was special.
that stream was hilarious. You should have just got a shiny Piplup on Pokemon Go. Maybe I'll do just chatting streams. Walk around Philly trying to catch a shiny Piplup.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious.
I caught shiny Piplup 2 a.m.
Right next to a homeless person.
But so that type of stuff I have some ideas for. Some of them are a little more secret, obviously. I'm keeping hidden until I flesh them out. You can't ruin surprises.
It's true.
Yeah. I.e. modding people. Cough cough. But
Here we go.
that's a big project. It sounded like.
yeah, so
I'll just
I
unmod me. Let's go.
any upcoming Apex streams? Yes. So
Oh God.
those are always hilarious. Apex stream till I get a dub, and they're always 6 or 7 hours of me trying to get a fucking win. A lot of top 2s, top 3s, but
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life that I also need to figure out, and it kind of bleeds over into Twitch, and I don't like it when it does that because when I come to Twitch, I kind of come at it with the idea of I'm here to entertain people. They're not here to listen to my problems, right? And if that's bleeding over into my Twitch streams, now in other streams or podcasts like this, I'll talk about it. I'm fine with it. It's different. But like when I'm playing games, I'm there to play games. That's what I'm there to
Right.
do. It's my hobby, and it's to get away from my issues. So there is that I definitely want to work, just personally. So
Yeah.
What about you, Jimmo?
What was the
What's your
question?
plan for the next couple months?
Oh, yeah.
What do you have going on
I
in
guess
January, February?
things to expect. Maybe I'll do another cleaning stream. I don't know.
OCD stream. Let's go.
Well, real quick, not in streaming, but there will be more Discord movie nights. Yeah, because that was fun. And the next movie will be A Silent Voice. That's coming up next, by the way.
Well, we know what we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're getting there. So the chess tournament, of course. Getting into the groove of more podcasting, but really it's so spread out with everything that I'm wanting to do that we'll just see bits and pieces. I think there's also going to be stuff that I haven't even thought about. Sometimes I like those random times where I just feel like streaming, and then I'm streaming something like completely new or random. It just felt like it. So I think personally, what I'm excited about, even though it's it's difficult to do, realizing that I can do these drawing streams, and that's something that it's like, why am I doing this? But then it kind of became a thing if I just keep going with it. And that's cool. The fact that we can do anything, such as vacuum again, and people came out to that for some reason. The fact that we can do that, it's pretty cool. So yeah, specific things, I'm not really sure what else to expect. There's just stuff I don't know about yet, but it's coming. Yeah. And
I saw the notification when you went live for the cleaning stream, and I couldn't come because I was busy, but I just stopped in my track because I was like, what?
What the
A
hell are you
vacuum
doing?
stream?
Right.
What?
So, because that morning I was supposed to go get a haircut, and then realized when I got there that all the places are closed because there's the purple curtain, the purple tier in my area because of COVID. And so I ended up going to the furniture store instead because I'd been wanting to pick up a smaller table, and that's how it happened. It's like, let me just try this out just for fun. So, and we'll see if we do more. I don't know. Yeah. So hey, you guys, I want to say thank you very much for joining. I want to say too. I know I'm taking like a formal approach to this by accident. Even though I want to keep this really casual and just really chill and all. That's by accident because like if we take it like full circle with what this whole Twitch thing has been and meeting you guys, I've never been used to doing this in the past. So I feel like I'm still getting used to talking to people in a way.
Yeah.
You know? And so eventually I want to make this even more casual because I know I kind of stuck to sort of a format, which I feel self-conscious about, you know? But overall, it's like whatever. As long as we're having a good time and really just having a good time and everybody else is having a good time too. So yeah, thanks for bearing with that too. I hope you guys had a good time here today, just talking about stuff. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Very welcome. And yeah, formalities aside, like all this, yeah, you guys are like part of my life now, you know, and I view it that way. And so it's like if we have things that are happening in our lives that are personal or is good news or bad news, I think we're here for each other for that too, regardless of, you know, this is also being a formal stage in a way on Twitch and everything, but really deep down we're all just people getting along and doing our thing, you know. So it's been good. Again, thank you
The
for
reason
joining.
my camera's off is because I'm eating.
Oh, what are you eating?
I got some. I got some hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper.
Can't go wrong with
Nice
that.
to
That's why
chill
I
with some
turned my
hamburger
camera
helper
off. So
sometimes.
it's like, oh, I'm just gonna eat.
Yeah, great. Enjoy
My
that. No,
3 hours
enjoy that.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, we've been streaming for 3 hours. Good lord.
Yeah, what was it last time? 4 hours? How did we even get to 4 hours last time?
By
Just
the grace of God.
Mike was
Some-
talking a lot.
Oh, thank
Mike's-
you.
Yeah, Mike.
someone bring up
compared-
anime. I'll extend this for 2 or 3 more.
Oh, anime. Favorite anime.
Oh,
Favorite
don't get me
anime.
started on Code Geass.
We could save that. We could save that for another time. Like,
Oh, dude, I'd
Death
love
Note.
to.
That's a whole other
Definitely.
podcast topic.
yeah,
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's a whole podcast.
whole podcast. So,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping to do this. I don't know. Ideally, it becomes like every 2 weeks, but it's more realistically, going to be a monthly thing, a monthly podcast. And so eventually, you guys will be coming back, or I'll invite you guys in different groups too. I want to like mix up the dynamic and everything. It'll be fun, but yeah. Do you guys have any last words or anything you want to share or whatever? If not, then I already have somebody in mind to go on raid. Someone super friendly.
Go
Okay.
for it.
All right.
Yeah. I think we're done.
Okay. And everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. It's
Thanks for behaving
Cool.
since your mod wasn't as active.
and I wasn't very active also, but I hope you understand. And yeah, generally like through these podcasts, I guess there's not going to be as much interaction, very little with everyone in the chat. But I think you understand. It's this, and then we're presenting this to you. So, okay, we're heading over to Flowerface. She's playing Among Us right now, and really one of the most friendly, flowery faces out there. So
Very nice.
surely you're in good hands. I don't really have I'll always try to make a raid message, sure, real quick. But everybody have a good time. Thanks for hanging out. And I don't know, let's do this. That works. Everybody take care, and it's been fun. And all you guys for joining today. Thanks and take care. We are heading over now, so see you there. Bye-bye.
Twitch.